Hello everybody and welcome to qualifying for IndyCar here for the Hy-Vee Homefront 250 and the Hy-Vee One Step 250. 500 miles spread across 2 days and only one qualifying to determine the running order. Now unfortunately at the moment qualifying has been delayed because the rain has opened up. We saw it coming on the radar over the past 20 minutes or so, but the rain's come down. So let's pass over now to IndyCar Radio as we wait for the session to resume.
The top of this racetrack. The good news is, Davey, good news, bad news. The good news is we don't expect it to last very long, but the problem is we're going to, quote-unquote, lose this track.
No, it's done. It's already lost, yeah. I mean, it's going to take a long time to get once it stops, they got to get the dryers out there, dry the track. They've got dry pit lane, the warm-up lane. Everything has to be dry before these cars can go back on track. So you're exactly right. It's a minimum of probably hour and a half delay for sure.
We'll tell you what we expect to happen once we do go qualifying. We think that everyone's going to be chasing Joseph Newgarden because that's what they were doing in practice most of the day yesterday.
Yeah, he's super fast. I mean, we expect that every time we come to this racetrack. We expect Newgarden to be fast. He's a master at this place. He knows how to be fast, and he was fast again yesterday.
A guy that was really, really fast at Toronto is Christian Lundgaard, and he is down in the garage area where Jake Query has set up shop. Jake?
So Christian Lundgaard, who became the 299th winner in IndyCar history, the freshly shaved Christian Lundgaard. How's the week been since coming off the win in Toronto?
It's been pretty relaxing, to be honest. Just try to stay at home and not do too much because I knew we had to come here. This is an important one for us, obviously, with Hy-Vees, so full focus has been on this.
You know, it's interesting, Christian, in terms of sponsor activation, I don't know that anybody's done it better than Hy-Vee, and obviously probably puts a little bit of pressure on you, but it's got to feel good to come in here as a winner, though. But just if you could, elaborate on their dedication to this event.
Honestly, just everything Hy-Vee does, not just for this event, but for the series and for our team and for me. I don't think I've walked into a Hy-Vee yet without my face hanging on the wall. So, everything they do is directly focused on bringing people here and awareness of IndyCar and this specific event. And I think that's just great. And there is no other promoter in IndyCar like Hy-Vee, and it's pretty simple, and everybody agrees with it, which just shows that they've set the benchmark.
You know, I noticed yesterday, if you'd gone into a Hy-Vee to see your picture in there, not only would you have seen David in groceries, but you would have had a little extra change in your pocket today if you went in, picked up a little extra money yesterday in the pit stop competition.
Yeah, it's great to finally have my crew rewarded for the great pit stops that they've done all season. We made a small mistake at the pit stop challenge at Indy, which basically cost us the advancement to go further in that round and challenge, but they deserved it yesterday, and it was pretty cool having the Hy-Vee car winning at the Hy-Vee pit stop challenge.
You know, I remember talking to a driver, Christian Lundgaard, our guest, and they were talking about when they got the first win, that then they felt like things would come more easily. Is there a truth to that?
Well, we haven't really competed yet since. Yesterday was a great practice. We were competitive. I don't think we're the fastest car, but we're definitely in the top 10 of fastest cars even on race running. So there's everything to play for today and even tomorrow. Obviously, the rain here doesn't help us at all, but again, everybody's in the same boat.
Lastly, it's a big weekend for you, obviously, here in Iowa and with the Hy-Vee sponsorship. Just your impressions on this track in general and the things you look for out of your car and yourself.
It's a fun little track. It's pretty challenging at the same time as it's a pleasure to drive, which is a bit of a strange mix as it's very, very tough. It's physical. It's a tough track. It's very short, and there's a lot of action going on. And as a spectator, it's very, very difficult to kind of keep track of who's where in the race, just because of if you pit, you go down a lap, if not 2 laps. So it's always very, very tough. And even as a driver, to understand where you are in the race, it's a long race. So it's about thinking about the long game.
Looks better without the mustache. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, that's Christian Lundgaard. Michael Young?
Well, we just got done talking to Christian Lundgaard, now speaking with Stingray Robb. Have you ever had the urge to grow a mustache until you get your first win? Has that ever crossed your mind?
No. I have some sanity left, and I think that would turn me over the edge. So,
how are you at a mustache? Have you ever grown facial hair before, Stingray?
I think you're looking at it right now. This is about as good as you're going to see. It just looks like a little dirt on my lip. There's not much to it there.
There you go. All right, so you come out, you get up, you have a good night's sleep, you come to the track expecting to put 2 good laps in, and we have this.
This is a downpour. This is a severe downpour. I guess it'll wake you up.
Yeah. So what do you do now? So we've lost the track, obviously. So we've got your car back here. It looks like it's pretty dry. It's got a little bit of rain on it, but just sit around and wait now, or what's the rain plan?
Well, we got a game of cornhole that I might set up here in the garage and let the mechanics and I go at it for a little bit, see if we can't kill some time that way. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're just sitting out here waiting on the rain. You know, it's not like a typical road or street course where we could go out and check things out in the rain. It's kind of is what it is. We have to sit here and wait it out, and hopefully the track's the same when we get back out on the racetrack, but it probably won't be. So
how is the cornhole skills? Is that a big game out in Idaho? I wouldn't imagine cornhole being the state sport.
I don't know if it's the state sport, but it's definitely up there. I've definitely played my fair share of games of cornhole, but yeah, it's fun.
Talk about this track. Talk about yesterday, the practice session. Got a good hour and a half in, and your thoughts on the car and what you were able to accomplish yesterday.
Yeah, you know, this is a unique weekend. We have limited track time ahead of the race, and so going into practice, you got to get a lot done in a short period of time. And we tried to do some quality sims yesterday, but with as many cars as there are on the racetrack, there's just not enough time to get all of us in there. And so we didn't have the best quality sim, but our long run pace seemed to be okay. We did some tuning things here or there. The track was a little different than the test that we had earlier this year here. But yeah, overall, happy with where I'm at. I know I can do a little bit better. I know the team can do a little bit better. And so we're just going to learn a lot, and that's the beauty of a doubleheader weekend. You can improve on your race one.
So you talk about the impound that will happen. So you get out there, and what you have is what you have going into the race later on today. Did you work a lot on race setups yesterday? Where did you put most of your focus?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, it's unique again because you have to compromise on both ends of the spectrum. You got to compromise on your qualifying and you have to compromise on your race. But it seems like the degradation here is very severe over the course of a run. And so our focus was mostly on the race. You know, we might qualify lower than what we wanted, but it's all right. I think that, you know, this race allows you to move forward and the right strategy or the right degradation, whatever else it may be. So our goal is just to hold on.
So, unfortunately, it looks like IndyCar qualifying has gone completely off air with the track being officially lost. It looks like we're going to have to wait to see when the circus returns as well. If we can't do qualifying, then the grid will be set on the practice times that we ran last night. But for now, it looks like it's going to be over. It should be ending around the top of the hour in about 20 minutes. Nothing else up for the rest of the day. It could take a long time to dry this circuit as well, which is another issue. They've got to look into it. The official thing is that IndyCar qualifying is on hold from Iowa Speedway. Stay tuned for more updates. That's all we've got at this time. So it should be ending at around the top of the hour, 20 minutes as well. But the track drying is going to be intense. There's an awful lot more sort of atmosphere and energy being brought into the paddock of things as well. So we could be seeing something quite, I hope not entertaining, but I'm hoping a little bit more down to earth and dry. Now, we are going to have some more information to you as well in terms of we're going to be replaying the Toronto race from 7 days ago. But I need to go and get the footage. So it's sort of in a catch-21 situation here. As we come into it, just want to talk. Megan's literally walked into the side where we're commentating from, saying kind of busy. But can you just talk for 30 seconds, talking us through the I just need to go and start finding out where this device is. Megan says she can't really. Well, that's great. So at the moment, we'll just talk. I just needed you to talk through the standings. It would have taken 30 seconds, and then I could have popped back in as well. No, she's now nodding at me. So at the moment, if you could just talk through the standings of the results for a second, that'd be very much appreciated. There you are, Megan.
Right, so came in first. Well, right now the championship standings. Alex Pillow is in first. Scott Dixon second. Joseph Newgarden third. Marcus Ericsson is fourth. O'Ward fifth. McLaughlin sixth. Seventh Lundgaard. Eighth Power. Herta ninth. Rossi 10th. Kirkwood 11th. Rosenquist is 12th. Grosjean is 13th, unlucky for some. 14th is Rahal. VK is 15th. Armstrong is 16th. Ilott 17th. Ferrucci is 18th. Malukas is 19th. Castroneves is 20th. Canapino? I can't say his name for some reason. Canapino is 21st, and 22nd is Di Francesco, 23rd Harvey, 24th Daly, Pagano is 25th, Rob is 26th. Benjamin Pedersen. I'm really bad at pronouncing names for the first time. Is 27th. Hunter Ray is 28th. 29th is Sato. 30th is Carpenter. Kanan is 31st. Andretti is 32nd. 33rd is Blomqvist. 34th is Enerson. And 35th is Legg.
Well, my thanks to Megan there for that as well, because basically what's happened is IndyCar Radio's gone off, and we're quite glad we're not on the F1 immediately, otherwise we wouldn't have known about it and you would have had dead air for like an hour and a half. So what we are going to do is get this working and stream the Toronto race from earlier on in, a week ago, so we'll just replay that while we wait for the track to dry, and when it does, we'll get back on air and we'll get sorted once again. But right now, as things stand, no sign of conditions improving. And we should be live now for the Formula One qualifying. We're not, as we're waiting for this, and I'm receiving about as much help as a turkey at Christmas as well, trying to run away. So this is going incredibly well so far with qualifying. We could just go off air and come back after the F1 qualifying, which I think we might have to do, because at this time nothing is going to happen in this session. So we're just trying to find out, because if it starts in between, then we have to restart everything and get going again. But the weather forecast is sort of just taking its toll. It's just hanging around. It should stop at the top of the hour, but the track is completely lost. It is just completely flooded out. So they can't then go, let's just go straight out. There's no wet tyres on ovals, of course. And it's a short track, so it needs to be thoroughly dry, thoroughly ready. And then, of course, we've got the race later, Indy NXT. Then later on this evening, we've got the next race as well to sort out. So we're in sort of a pickle, a big pickle at the moment, to see when or not this race will start. Just trying to see if IndyCar Radio on Mixler is actually available, because we can't see any of it so far. The IndyCar Radio Network, I believe, has gone on to playing IndyCar Classics. So while we get set,
fair enough. And I saw her just fly in. So did you fly this weekend?
I'm bummed I didn't see her jet. But yes, I flew in. Me and Ed flew in.
I think she parked right next to you to just say hi. She was waving out the window, and you obviously were here at the track.
That makes a lot of sense. She's a big Alex Rossi fan, I think.
There you go. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
That's Alexander Rossi, guys.
And I mean, who isn't a big Alexander Rossi fan? And understandably so. So, Davey Hamilton, you've been in this position before, and all of your years as a driver, and I love the fact that they're all kind of matter of fact about the situation. And as it stands, I mean, all you do is hurry up and wait, right?
Yeah. Well, there's nothing worse than the unknown, and that's where everybody's at. It's absolutely there's no information being given, because nobody really knows yet. Is the track is the rain finished? Number one. Number two is how long it's going to take to dry this facility, and then number three, does it fit within the schedule to try to get qualifying in, or are they going to go off of points going into these races, which is somewhat of a bummer. It means it's the way they do have two 2 races and the way they were going to do qualifying. It's pretty cool the way they were going to do that. So a lot of unknowns, and these drivers right now, as Rossi just said, you know what, we'll just go to the coach, have some breakfast, probably take a little nap, just relax. F1 qualifying, I'm glad he reminded me of that, too. I'm going to get and watch a little bit of that F1 qualifying myself. So, yeah, just one of those days, Mark. It's never fun having rain on an oval racetrack.
Let's get an update on the current conditions here at Iowa Speedway. Jake Query?
You had mentioned, Mark, that you thought this rain was not going to be short, or it was not going to be long-lived, I should say, and that's correct. It was a fairly short burst. Still some sprinkles coming. The problem now is standing water. A lot of squeegees are out, of course, on the racetrack. They will do what they can to take care of that. There is a slight breeze here, but you can see a clearance just to the west of us. That's the good news, is the fact that this is not anticipated to be something that we see throughout the course of the day. Now it simply becomes a question of those last few persistent sprinkles, getting them to fade out. That's expected to happen in the next 10 to 15 minutes, Mark, and then the drying process begins.
And we hope to go qualifying at some point today. If not, we'll update you on that. We also have an Indy Next race to compete in addition to the NTT IndyCar Series race a little bit later on today. We're going to step away for now. Stay with us. Continue to monitor. We'll update you and with the latest information as soon as we have it. Track is wet. We have lost it, but drying efforts already underway here at Iowa Speedway.
Miss a broadcast? Listen on Apple Podcasts or at IndyCarRadio.com.
4 races, 3 days. The stars of NASCAR and IndyCar return for Brickyard Weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Friday, August 11th, the next generation of Indy Next by Firestone takes to the road course. Saturday features the NTT IndyCar Series Gallagher Grand Prix, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 150 presented by Advance Auto Parts. Then Sunday the 13th, the NASCAR Cup Series takes on the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. Power, speed, precision, and family friendly. Kids under 15 get in free. Tickets at IMS.com.
Recover Now is a national campaign aimed at the education and awareness of the devastating effects of opioid and heroin abuse and curbing drug and alcohol addiction in the United States. Recover Now is sponsored by treatment facilities nationwide. Many of them have been where you are, and they want to help by spreading a message of hope and recovery. They're working hand in hand with major insurance companies nationwide that can help you or a loved one get clean in 7 to 30 days. Recover Now is embarking on a national outreach campaign on TV and radio to promote anti-addiction messages. So if you, a loved one, or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, do not wait. A new life for you could be 30 days away. Call us right now. I promise this call can change your life. Sponsored by the Detox and Treatment Helpline.
800-934-6091. 800-934-6091. That's 800-934-6091.
560, 1995. The quickest Indianapolis 500-mile races in 60 minutes.
Welcome to 560. I'm Greg Rakestraw. In the next hour, we will present the 1995 Indianapolis 500 broadcast. In addition to the historic broadcast of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network, Speedway historian Donald Davidson will add his perspective on this race. We take you back to May 28th, 1995, with the voice of the 500, Bob Jenkins.
In 1946, they held a 500-mile race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The facility had been miraculously readied after 4 years of abandonment during World War II. New owner Tony Holman didn't know if anyone would be interested in auto racing after the conflict. But fans flocked to 16th and Georgetown by the thousands, and everyone knew the 500 would continue. It's now the largest single-day sporting event in the world. And today is race day in Indianapolis.
Okay, so we are going to leave IndyCar Radio Network and we are going to get ready then and show you what happened a week ago at Toronto with a replay until we get the qualifying back. It's the NTT Data IndyCar Series ready to get going. Hello everybody, welcome to round 10 and we are back on the main YouTube channel. It's been a while and, well, 7 days since the unlawful banning, let's say, of the YouTube channel. We're back. I would like to thank each and every one of you who have been watching on JB Motorsports 2 and on our new Twitch platform. I'd also like to thank everybody who's watched the uploads of the practice and qualifying sessions we've done throughout this weekend on IndyCar. Over 200 on just the uploads was insane. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to thank everybody now currently watching back with us on JB Motorsports 1. And I would like to say a big hello to our new Twitch viewership coming into today. We're in for hopefully a classic. However, TweetDeck is trying to load. Not really loading. Should we send it downstairs, though, for the first time in the interview on the grid?
Yesterday that looked like it could have gone bad, that ultimately ended up pretty well for you guys. How would you kind of evaluate the day and how intense it was yesterday?
I think we just kept our heads. You know, the Gallagher Chevy we knew it was quick. May not have had outright speed, but to get to the fast six and then have a crack at pole, I think we're really proud of everyone. So we know we've got reasonable pace in this thing. It's just about making no mistakes, and yeah, I feel good. I'm excited for what's ahead. It's going to be a long, hot race. It's humid out here. It's warm, so yeah, plenty of fluids and just get it done.
You're starting on the harder primary tire. The designation at the front of the field is pretty mixed. So what will be the biggest challenge for you starting on these particular tires at the start of the race?
Look, ideally, I've got to stay the first one on the primaries position-wise. We know that the green tire is probably going to give away a little bit earlier than the primary, so we'll try and put some pressure on these guys and see if they can sort of come back to us a little bit, and yeah, hopefully we can beat them just on strategy.
Scott McLaughlin starts second today. Kevin Lee is with the man he starts next to. That's our pole sitter, Christian Lundgaard.
Second time Christian Lundgaard has won an IndyCar pole. It was mixed conditions. Everything is shaken up a little bit. So the first question is for you: is the car good enough, fast enough to keep that position and run up front?
I would say the Hy-Vee Vivid car is fast enough to win this race today, and I think we also proved it in warm-up this morning. We think we did our fastest lap on the 11th lap on the greens, so and they were used because I know some of them were on new. So I do think that we have a fast enough car today to win, but we need to make it happen. That's the most important.
So regular IndyCar fans will know that mustache wasn't just a fashion statement. It was really more of was it a wager? And by the way, this is Victor Peterson right here, his buddy back December. They decided to do this. So my question would be, do you look forward to your first IndyCar win more or shaving that mustache?
I think the stash comes first here, you know, because it's just a stupid little deal. And also it gives me something to race for the fun of it, and I think that's also what makes it great. And to have my best friend by my side here, this was his first qualifying to ever witness, and I'm on pole, so I bet he's having a great time.
Good luck today. Christian Lundgaard starts first. He said he and Victor wouldn't be able to shave until he wins. Diff, is today going to be the day?
Well, Kevin, at just 21, he really has laid a mature hand on Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, and certainly has energized and motivated that group, because we have to remind ourselves, as much as you guys, that there were some pretty lean times for Team RLL. Just go back to qualifying weekend for the Indianapolis 500. Graham Rahal and his family in tears after he failed to make the field in regular qualifying.
Yeah, the regular qualifying haunt as well, that still kept them out of it, and was, to be fair, a little bit torturous as well to have that disallowed. But he got in the seat. Stefan Wilson having the accident with Catherine Legg meant that he still took part. I'd like to welcome everybody as well listening in on USON to our coverage here today. Hello to you all. Welcome to the Grand Prix of Toronto, and especially so many people here are going to be joining us for the race, because this race exclusively live on Peacock in the United States of America. So it's sort of the only race of the year that isn't in America, so they shove it on Peacock. So it's kind of the way it all goes. Megan's with me now in the comms box as well. Welcome, Megan, walked in. Thank you for getting the notes printed out, because this person forgot. How are you doing?
Fine, so far.
Headache gone?
As far as I can tell, we'll see if it comes back.
Well, we've connected up the baby bus mixer.
Can you make sure that you're on low right now for me? Because my headache tends to... come out quick.
I just had to point out, these are Audio Technica headsets that we use, and they are soundproof headsets. So once you put them on, if you keep them on, the level that you have me on will be the level that you'll hear me on.
Yeah, though usually for me that's loud.
Yeah, but it's not going to be now. For this, look. This is the audio headphone monitor, so you can control how little or how loud you hear me.
So that one.
Yes, that one there. This is mine. That's yours from now on.
I shall be using that a lot.
Well, I know that. That's why I put it there. Anyway, looking back to qualifying yesterday, a lot of rain. Rain is predicted. There's a 20% chance. Do you reckon we'll see anything, or is this going to be a dry race?
So there's a 20% chance.
Yes. Anyway, it's time for the national anthem.
From the Lincoln and Welland Regiment of the Canadian Armed Forces.
I hear the clouds.
Here's the national anthem.
As Chaplain Jason Holt of IndyCar Ministries offers today's invocation.
Father God, we thank you for the gift of life and the gift of creating such a beautiful country and city to hold our event today. God, we thank you for the brave men and women serving both abroad and within these borders, guarding our freedoms to gather and pray like this today. And so, God, we lift up our drivers, teams, safety personnel, and these great fans for an exciting, a smooth, and a safe day of racing. But most of all, we say thank you for the hope and love available to all through the cross of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now here to sing both the national anthem of the United States of America and the Canadian national anthem, please welcome Royal Canadian Air Force Warrant Officer David Grennan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
A wonderful fly past then here in Canada. This is round 10 of the 2023 season, and the applause Just keep on coming. Megan, we're in for a very interesting weekend. 85 laps ahead of us. There's a look at the starting grid. Christian Lundgaard on pole position. And it should be quite an interesting race. Only the second time this year he's on pole. But the likes of Palou, the championship leader, he's so far down on the running orders at the moment.
That might be a good thing. Hold on, I'm just going to turn myself up a little bit more so I can actually hear myself slightly.
New for you, go on.
Yeah. I would say that it might be a good thing that he's so far down right now because it may be difficult to overtake in IndyCar for so long.
Yes,
so
it is, yeah.
If there is a yellow or a red, then you're going to want to be in a little bit of a lower position than you want to be because then you can build yourself back up.
Here's a look then at the standings as we are currently coming into this weekend of the championship. We're just getting them ready because apparently, guess who didn't change the background image on it to take a look? So that's, basically everything this weekend has been just so madness at the moment. Everyone on USON, hello and welcome. This is going to be, I think, the normal weekend you're all sort of expecting it to be up here in the comms box. Anyway, let's take a look now at the standings coming into round 10 of the season. Alex Palou leads. He's on 377 points. Scott Dixon is 110 points back on 267. Newgarden's on 261. Ericsson is on 255. Pato O'Ward on 250. Scott McLaughlin on 229. Will Power 226. Alexander Rossi is on 216. Moving further down, Colton Herta is on 204 with Christian Lundgaard on 194. Then we get Kyle Kirkwood, he's on 177. Romain Grosjean on 167. Felix Rosenqvist 163. Graham Rahal on 145. Callum Marlott on 142. Venus VK is on 141. Marcus Armstrong on 130. Santino Ferrucci on 125. Further that down as well, David Malukas on 124. Helio Castroneves is on 104, the same as Devlin DiFrancesco. Connor Daly on 98. Jack Harvey 95, the same as Agustin Canapino. Saman Pagino, not racing this weekend, is on 88. Benjamin Pedersen, he's on 75. Stingray Robb on 71. Ryan Hunter-Reay just started back in the championship, the 500, and last time out was the only race he's done. He's on 44. Then Takuma Sato on 37. Ed Carpenter 27. Tony Kanaan on 18. Marco Andretti 13. Catherine Legg, R.C. Anderson on 5. And Tom Blomqvist, new to the championship this weekend, is on 0. 35 drivers have taken part this weekend, and they're the top standings as well. In terms of the manufacturer's standings, Honda have 6 wins and 9 poles. They lead on 759 points. Chevrolet have 3 wins, 2 poles, and only 693 points. So Honda have been dominating the races so far this season. Looking to the rookie standings as well, Marcus Armstrong leads that on 130 points. Agustin Canapino has 95 points. Benjamin Pedersen on 75. Stingray Robb on 71. R.C. Anderson is on 5 only. Looking to the NTT P1 Award, which is the number of pole positions so far this year. Alex Palou leads that on 99 points with 2 poles. Romain Grosjean's got 2 poles, but he only has 58. Colton Herta, 2 poles, 55 points. Kyle Kirkwood has 1 pole, the same as Lundgaard and Rosenqvist, but Kirkwood 54 points, Lundgaard 34, and Felix Rosenqvist has 7 to his name. And I think, Megan, as well, the big talking point coming into today, if you take a look back up in the timing screen, is the fact that anything and everything happens at Toronto. And fingers crossed, we're going to be in for a very exciting race as we take a look now. 85 laps ahead of us, and nobody knows what's going to happen, whether or not that rain's going to fall or not.
If it's going to fall, I reckon it would fall near the end of the race.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
This has a lot of tight corners, and I think that people are going to crash into each other.
Well, we'll find out. It's going to be that type of race, I'm afraid, that type of day. We'll keep an eye on it throughout. We've got our driver tracker open. We've got everything set up. New information graphic there for you as well. Circuit information. It's an asphalt concrete circuit. Turns, lap records, so on. We'll bring you more information throughout the race as it comes. Those listening on USON, we understand on USON 1, it is the Wimbledon final. And at the moment, last time I looked, it was looking rather good between Djokovic as well. 2 sets each. 1 game each, 15 each last time I looked. I don't know if that's changed anything so far, but I'm looking forward to it. Nice to be back on the main channel as well, Megan. We've had a difficult weekend, haven't we, with everything?
We have.
Is the audio better in your ears now, by the way? Now that you can control your own earphone level?
I should say so.
Really?
Still tired.
But if you just let me do that earlier on, would have been a headache problem.
I mean, it would have helped the headache, though we couldn't do that earlier on. We were in the middle of the Formula E race. See, I can't even speak properly. And
would you like some Coke?
It would have just caused loads of stress and maybe even caused the systems to be messed up. So.
It's going to be one of those days where I can't get this lid on right, so yeah.
Lids are weird.
Lids are weird. There's another Coke that I need to be brought through as well.
You can easily get lids off, so putting them back on again is like you have to have a medical degree or something.
Medical to keep it through. Anyway, let's just take a quick look, though, at who's led the races so far. Last year, Colton Herta started on pole position, but Scott Dixon took his first win of the season here 12 months ago. I'm looking at this page, by the way, not my blank page of notes I'm going to write down throughout the race. I'm looking at the stats guide. Scott Dixon hasn't won a race this year. He's second in the title, 111 points back. This is the racetrack he won at last year. Is it a do or die to do it again?
I would say so.
Round 10 of the season. It's the wind. Round 10 of the season, though. We're getting to the close half of this battling campaign. Race due underway soon. Race should have actually started 15 minutes ago.
I think it's raining, so I'm just going to go check and then close the door if it is.
Okay, off you go then. Megan's going to go check to see if it's raining or not outside the commentary box. Year before that, when we raced here last in 2019... it was start for a driver that was no longer on the grid who had pole position, but Will Power took the race win. It's raining, yeah, Megan's right. You could hear that because you've got one earphone off as well. That's the impressive thing. So, looking back, last year, first race back in Toronto, we're back here now, all looking fun. Just want to point out quickly, look at the starting tyres. Only a few drivers, 4 of them, on the black primaries. That's McLaughlin, O'Ward, Grosjean and Harvey. Everybody else, Megan, starting on the full tyres. Oh, sorry, you're unmuted. Go on.
That might be a mistake for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's raining out there.
I'm not surprised. And yeah, it probably is a mistake coming in. We're just getting ready for the command to be given then down there on the track.
They might have to pit earlier.
Pit early for wet tyres or dry tyres? Those are the primaries.
Dry.
Yeah. It's going to be that type of race, isn't it? And we saw the bumps having problems here like they had back a week ago in... Where were we a week? Mid-Ohio. So there we go. Car's now ready. There's Joseph Newgarden just getting set. The same livery this weekend as Will Powell. So, all set, ready to go for the Honda Indy Toronto Grand Prix. It's all set as we head downstairs. All set to go. Let's check in then. Back over to NBC.
It's inside and reflections on the season thus far.
But all our focus turns to the start of this thing. Big, long run down to turn 3. Heavy brake zone, the ability to go side by side. How are these 27 drivers gonna play it?
Well, that's all the talking that needs to be done. Let's get things fired up. Let's go trackside for the command for the Honda Indy Toronto.
All right, race fans in Toronto and watching around the world, time for the most famous words in motorsport. Here to give the command for the Honda Indy Toronto, please welcome your Ontario Honda dealer.
Command has been given.
We love that sound each and every IndyCar weekend. Fired up, ready to go, and we will go racing when we come back.
So, news in for those of you listening on USON. Djokovic lost. Djokovic lost. Unbelievable. A game of tennis. Djokovic has been beaten in a final at Wimbledon for the first time since 2006. Now, that is exciting to come into it. Engines are fired then, all set to get going. 85 laps ahead of us as we take a look at the standings once more. Megan, this is a tight track. We've had tragedy here many years ago. It's a track that is harsh and aggressive, but it does give us good racing. Do you reckon that we'll see that today, or is it going to be like last year where it was a bit of a follow-me leader from pole with Dixon?
I really hope not.
Yeah. 85 laps ahead of us then.
It better have some crashing, it better have changes of the lead constantly, and it better have someone spinning and causing a safety car or caution.
85 laps I've noted down. Is that SpongeBob SquarePants? It is. Let's have a look at the race winners. Marcus Ericsson won at St. Pete. Newgarden won at Texas. Kirkwood won at Long Beach. McLaughlin won at Barber. Palou won the Indy Grand Prix, the Detroit, Road America, and Mid-Ohio. He's won the last 3 races on the bounce, Palou.
He's won enough.
Yeah, if he wins here today, Alex Palou, bear in mind he's had his worst qualifying and starts down in 15th place. Thank you. To come in, just asking for a glass of new Coke in about 20 minutes. If Palou, who, by the way, starts in his worst position this year, down in, I've lost him on the timing screen, 15th position, then it will be quite something for him. He's never done that from that far back on the grid, obviously. Is it on TV, says NASCAR Fan 33. It's on Peacock in America, and it's on Sky Sports F1 in the UK as well. But literally, this is always the problem when we get to this part of the race. Because Toronto is exclusively live, it always sort of goes wrong. I think Sky have fixed their issues, by the way, with their audio, which is great. So let's go through. Wishing you all the best for your channel, says Jeff. Thank you. And hello to everybody, says as well. Bal says, hello, race fans. Go, Scotty Mac. Oh, thanks. I missed the Wimbledon final. I was going to watch the highlights after the IndyCar race. Don't need to now. Should I give it a spoiler warning?
What?
Sorry if I gave you a spoiler warning. I'm so sorry if I've spoiled the Wimbledon match. Anyway, we're all set then to go. I really want to see it. The race. IndyCarLive.com is if you're outside the US. IndyCarLive.com is usually the place to go. They're across the start line though, and their racing is all set to go. Let's take a look then at how they line up on the grid. It's pole position for Christian Lundgaard for the second time in his career, the second time this year. Scott McLaughlin alongside him. Then it's row 2 with Pato O'Ward and Marcus Ericsson. Row 3, Felix Rosenquist is alongside Will Power. Row 4, Scott Dixon and Carl Kirkwood. Row 5, Romain Grosjean and Marcus Armstrong. Row 6, Joseph Newgarden is alongside Venus VK. Row 7 of the grid takes us up with Helio Castroneves. He's alongside Colton Herta. And row 8 sees Alex Palou and Callum Ilott. Row 9, David Malukas and fan favourite Agustin Canapino. He starts down on the 9th row of the grid. Row 10 and 18 and 19 of the grid, we'll see Jack Harvey and Tom Blomqvist. Blomqvist out qualifying everybody else, including Ryan Hunter-Ray on row 11 with Devlin Di Francesco. Row 12 sees Stingray Robb and Santino Ferrucci. Row 13, Benjamin Pedersen and Alexander Rossi, who sort of just stopped out on the track during qualifying. And Graham Rahal starts last. Rahal, Lennon and Lanigan Racing, Megan, really do have front, middle and back in the field today. But it's sort of a question of what we're going to see.
They've got to cover all the bases.
Yeah. Bases loaded here in Toronto. We're right next to a baseball stadium and a football stadium. There's Pato O'Ward starting 3rd here for the Grand Prix of Toronto. You can see the driver tracker, the cars out there on the circuit on their parade laps to the grid. Let's take a look to see if by any miracle our timing tower is actually working correctly to have as a correct lap count. If so, brilliant, but I'm not exactly guessing it will. Well, we'll double check to see if it will at some point later on in the race. There's the start-finish line, as you can see on your driver tracker. It's a short track here, as we've been talking about, just 2.874 kilometres, that's 1.788 miles. Lap record here, just under a minute, 58.806 set by Cristiano Di Matta, who is in Formula 1. Turn 8 is often a pothole paradise.
Oh, what is it with bumps?
I know, the bumps have been everywhere this weekend, haven't they? It's just been going mad. Hi to Josh. Josh T says, hi, Josh and Megan. Hello to Josh T. Good.
You may as well have this...
Yeah.
You may as well have this on a mountaintop.
Yeah. They're going too wide. Bal says, don't worry. Only watched it as well. Adam says, watch Wimbledon. Now it's IndyCar time. We're all set. Here in Toronto, Christian Lundgaard has the front row. We're coming to the green flag.
Look at the motorway beside them. Feel like they're racing the drivers.
I would if I were them, wouldn't I? Now they're going to go side by side through turns 9, 10, 11.
That barrier's still messed up.
Bases loaded. Green flag in hand. The Honda Indy Toronto is under starters' orders. Longard on pole, McLaughlin alongside, the field bunching up. The cheers begin to rise. Let the engines rise. Green flag. We're underway in Toronto, and immediately McLaughlin wants to defend from Pato O'Ward down to turn 1. Marcus X is going to try and have the outside line, and there's Scott Dixon. He's going up the inside. There. Yeah, the Dixon going inside. That's one of the Penskes. Can't tell if it's McLaughlin. No, it's Power. Power getting forced out. There we go. Newgarden on the inside line having a bit of trouble. And look already, Pato O'Ward right up there. But look, Colton Hurts trying to go around the outside of Roman Grosjean. And Newgarden's up. Oh, huge accident. Huge accident in the middle of the pack. We've got a traffic jam with about half the field, and no doubt this will be a red flag. That's Ferrucci, Patterson involved. Half the track come in. This will be
Blankfest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good for his first race.
Now, will they red flag the race? They can take them through the exit curb, as we've just seen as well. Rahal go through. But a major traffic block. Ferrucci, Pedersen. I'm trying to see who's on the inside here. That's the 60s. That's Tom Blomqvist. Oh, and that's Venus VK, I think. But no, it's Ryan Hunter-Reay. Ryan Hunter-Reay's been spun round, and that is the 30.
I think it's everyone from Blomqvist down.
Yeah, so Harvey, Blomqvist, Hunter-Reay, Di Francesco, Rob, Ferrucci, Pedersen, Rossi, and Rahal sort of get turned up in that. They're going to have to red flag it because we've got cars stopped.
Yeah, smoking.
Well, we'll wait for the confirmation. They've crossed it.
It's the brakes.
Yeah, brakes smoking on top of. This is on board with. I think they're going to red flag the race.
Stingray Rob has entered the pit, so he's not involved in that. He might have got kind of sideswiped.
Safety car to use exit road. Safety car, so they're going to avoid the red flag. They're going to take them through the escape road.
That's
that is so lucky. IndyCar thinking ahead. They've taken them round the access road, which is basically, if there is an event of this, they don't have to red flag it. But I think with the amount of cars, they might have to red flag because that's 7 cars out already.
At least everyone seems okay.
You are right. It's Blomqvist, Harvey, Hunter-Reay, Rob, Ferrucci. Well, Stingray Rob's into the pit lane. Ferrucci, Pedersen, and Rossi. Rossi involved in that too. Here we go.
Wait, what was that?
Well, where did it start? There. So it is Ryan Hunter-Reay who got into the side of Jack Harvey, who collects into the side of Tom Blomqvist, who hits Alexander Rossi, and then just mayhem goes up. Yeah, it's 1, 2. Well, I think we're going red flag. I'm not too sure if they're going to stop the race or not because they're going to have to get those cars out. There's a lot of debris there as well, so yellows breed yellows, and the red flag out before we even get to the first part of the track. And we've seen that. That was exactly what happened in Formula E.
At least it didn't seem too, fast impact.
Yeah, it's exactly what we saw in Formula E as well, just Constantino effects. And Hunter-Reay has damaged his front wing, but he managed to reverse up the back of the track. He was the last in the field, and he's popped into the pits.
Just like, do you know what? I'm going backwards. Bye.
Well, he used his head to get in there. Cars are coming into the pit lane. Are they going to go through? Let's take a look. No, they're going to keep them out, so they haven't stopped the race yet. Let's hope they don't have to, because that's a long time to go into the procedure to have to restart it as well. So there, who starts it off? Is it Hunter-Reay who starts it off in the middle of the field? He hits the side of... Yeah.
Who's that car there?
Well, which one? The pink or the blue in the middle?
This one.
That is Santino Ferrucci.
Ferrucci was waving over to the marshals, just like this.
Yeah, he's kept the engine going.
I think maybe there was another problem with his car or something. Either that or he wanted out of the car quickly.
Field has stopped at turn 2.
Was not expecting this for his first NTT IndyCar.
So I thought we were hearing something the field had continued on now.
Poor Blomqvist.
Especially poor for Blomqvist. Double suspension failure. And that is just absolutely insane. And he got forced into the wall as well, did Tom. He got nothing to do. So,
well, good first experience.
So it's Harvey who comes into the path of Hunter-Reay, who hits the side of Blomqvist, and then all hell breaks loose.
Where's Ferrucci?
Yeah.
They've taken him off quick.
I think Santino's got going again, looking at the time. Yeah, Ferrucci. No, Ferrucci's still there, look. He's number 14, he's still out. He must have been pulled off, so he's out of the race.
I think he might have had another problem and he needed help getting out.
Yeah.
So I got him up first.
I decided to point out, IndyCar are covering this race live on Peacock. Why are they going to ad break? They're on an ad-free service. They really are just lazy, aren't they?
Habit.
Yes, I suppose so. So, caution's out early on here at Toronto. Full course yellow as the safety car takes them through. 4 cars now stranded down at the entrance to turn 1 and 2. We didn't even get to one corner and the yellow came out.
What's going on in the rest of the field?
Well, Lundgaard leads, McLaughlin second. Ericsson's dropped down to 4th. Pato O'Ward's got up there.
Absolutely nothing then.
Pallot's moved up 2 places. That's about it, really. It's everybody else downwards. So Blomqvist, Harvey, Hunter-Reay, Rob and Pedersen are out of the race according to my timing screen. I suppose your timing screen as well back home.
Rahal and Ferrucci have entered the pits.
Yeah.
So they've got out.
Jackson Ambrose on the Green Network's agreeing with you. Paul Blomqvist gets hip checked into the wall and doesn't even make it past turn 2 and debut. Exactly as you said.
Yeah, it's not really that fair.
Ryan Hunter-Reay's coming to the pit. Graham Rahal's coming to the pit lane as the field is still taking the access road at turn 1, the cut-off point. So we're still under the yellows. I suppose it's a good time to change over. New set of alternatives.
See how the weather's doing.
He's on primaries, actually.
Check the weather outside the commentary box.
So, caution lap 1. FCY lap 1 with 7 cars.
Oh, it should stop in 9 minutes.
So who's out of the race? Confirmed? Because Rahal's got going. So, it's Blomqvist. So, Blomqvist is out. Who else is out? Harvey's out. Who else on that board? Hunter-Reay.
Pedersen as well.
Pedersen, yeah. Pedersen's out. Trying to look who else is out. Stingray Rob's out too, as well. Rob's out. So, that's the cars eliminated so far in this race. You're back with us on Peacock. Or wherever you're tuning in around the world, including on USON, on Twitch and JB Motorsports. We're all now just waiting. Brother JP's turned up, says greetings to JB and crew. Hello. Josh T said, that's some great photo opportunity as well into the gate. Field stopped on track because it doesn't verify the escape road as part of the track. Thanks, Josh T. Hey, you're on my TV. Lol, had to put you along on my Now TV stick so I can keep the leaderboards and live map. Bal, if that's what you're happy with, BL, that's how you are. We'll say hello. We'll take a wave. It's nice to be on somebody's TV and not on a mobile device. Hello. Feels like we're on proper television with a live tracker and everything as well coming in.
Two things. One,
why have you passed my
network.
phone? Yeah.
2, can you put Safari on? Because may as well fill the time.
There you are. I don't know.
I want to play.
Do you know?
It was late, but there's no way it's okay.
So he had Pato O'Ward, actually, or he drove up next to Pato O'Ward and had Pato try and get a glance at the damage if he could. Pato said little damage to the left front end plate on the wing, but nothing major. And Alex said all the tires and suspension components feel good as well.
So that's some little checks there that Alexander Rossi wants to do to make sure he's asking Pato O'Ward, look, is my car okay? Because of where the field is organised, it's sort of all changed up at the current moment. So not too badly. We're under the yellow then on lap 5 of this race. And not too much, looking forward to the rest of it. At least we're going to cut down the fuel windows, Megan, I suppose. That's always a factor you've got to look at. Is that the longer we go into this stint, the shorter it will be for fuel loads. Look at that Honda Civic Type R leading the field. It's a classic one as well. No, is it the new one? Yeah, it is the new one. It is the new Honda Civic Type R. There's the football pitch, as I said earlier. Not a baseball, that is proper football. Is that football as in we know football or American football? Or as you call it over there, soccer? Is it soccer? I don't know. It's something for sure. So full course yellow's been out now. We've been green, by the way, for 26 minutes. We've only done 6 laps. Yeah, that's how long we've been under the caution for.
That's a long time.
2-minute lap times we've been doing for the 6. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 minutes. Maybe that is correct then. I want to say 90% sure on that factor. Still, cars streaming through as they take it through. Traffic jam on the streets of Toronto, yeah. Megan, what are you doing? You naming... what are you doing?
Naming countries.
Megan's just naming countries under the yellow. Okay, fair dues. Got to keep something entertained at least. This exit curb has got more grip on it than turn 1. That's quite funny. Literally, actually, it's not a little bad.
Change it.
They should. It's actually not as bad there, is it, in terms of bumps? They should change it to be a little bit more like that. Why they've got the lights on the safety car and they've got the hand out, I do not know. To say just don't go past, stay where you are. I wouldn't stick my hand out there. Would you stick your hand out there with the driver getting close to the barriers? These pace car drivers, you know, like...
No.
No, I wouldn't go like that, would you? Terrifying opportunity to put your hand out and get caught. Canada has its own version of football, a bit different to America. Woohoo, it's like Britain's Got Talent, says pal. Mind you, don't get too attached. I'm too excited because I've got the actual race on my big TV and you're on the smaller one. Hey, look, we'll just take a television.
It's a television.
It's a TV, we'll take it. It's better than on a phone or anything as well, because then you can actually see everything on the screen, which is best. Pit window, Megan. I know. I need a camera. Oh, see, if I had my phone in my hand, I would have had that. Rossi's coming to the pit lane.
Well, you didn't.
I think fuel window as well. Josh T, could you do me a favour? On your Skybox, if you've got it open, can you just rewind that little information graphic we saw and just send it into the Combox chat so I can write it down on my notes? Alexander Rossi's changing the front wing, Megs. He's also going to take off the green alternative tyres. You know, like they had sticker reds, it's sticker greens. Josh T's on it, thank you very much. So he's going back on. And that is Santino Ferrucci back in the race. Ferrucci in the 14's getting back in, and the 51. So Stingray Rob is back in the race, Megan. Stingray Rob is back in the race. So I can scratch him off the list of out cars. That's even better. As I try and follow through. Seriously, this escape road has got more grip on it now than ever. They're not gear shifted that part of the track either, so they're going to have to. They're manually guessing about what part of the track to go into. It's quite funny.
It's always funny.
Just realised I've put the mic shield on. What you had your wet thing on earlier on.
No water.
That's the one. So. Yellow out now after 7 laps. 79 to go here on the streets of Toronto. In Canada. There's the football pitch. Looks quite good, actually. It's a bit smaller than a regulation UK standard, looks like, from the air. And alongside it, we see the baseball stadium sort of over there. Ice rink here, too. It's all around like a pleasure park. This unique circuit. Fans come in attendance. You can see every part of this track as well from the roof of that skyscraper. That's into turn 1. I think the reason we don't use that is because it has to go through the bridge section in turn 1. So you go underneath the archway of the bridge, and I don't think it's big enough to keep it in. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Bal says, oh, by the way, note to myself, Scotty Mack is in a blue car this weekend. Yes, he is. He's up now into P3. And Scotty Mack's in a blue car. Will Power and Joseph Newgarden are in the same livery, and with the similar numbers, a 12 and a 2, so it's really hard to tell. Power's in the 12 and Newgarden's in the 2. I'm hearing like beeps in my ear. Are you hearing those beeps? So what? No, like the forklift trucks.
I heard them.
I can barely hear you on the mics.
Why?
That's why. Because you're talking isn't like commentating. Your talking is like normal talking.
They usually do. What's below France?
Monaco.
Thank you. What's the other thing below France?
Italy.
No, next to Spain too.
Spain, Portugal.
No, not Portugal.
I don't know. We're not doing a history lesson, a geography lesson, sorry. Radio.
Just cleaning and slightly warming your tires, I guess.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm kind of half warming them. I don't want to burn them.
You know what you need to do. Just letting you know, we got zero concerns on fuel. In fact, you can burn some if you want to get rid of the weight.
So I think this helps, though, starting on the alternates. There's a feeling that it will fall off massively after 10 or so laps of green flag racing.
Yeah, for sure. This yellow, this extended yellow especially, really helping the alternates. This is not great
for the guys on primaries, but it's not been smooth sailing up to this point in the weekend for Felix. This was in second practice before qualifying turn 5, in a little hot. Looks relatively small, but some big consequences.
Yeah, punched a hole in the carbon tub for Felix Rosenqvist as he climbed out. They got the car back to the garage area, and the Arrow McLaren team went to work rebuilding the car essentially with a backup tub that he sits in here right now. But then Rosenqvist went out and qualified the thing 5th in wet conditions, treacherous conditions. He didn't lose confidence. He looked confident. He looked aggressive in the warm-up this morning. And the team telling Felix right now, burn fuel, use tires, go hard, let's go win this thing.
So we're getting ready for the restart. They're going to come into the last couple of corners. Christian Lundgaard's going to have to do it all over again. They won't go 2 by 2. It will be a single file restart. And here we go. The pace car will drift away. And then we will get going once more. Red flag was, well, avoided. Caution instead. It's taken 10 laps off the Grand Prix. Shall we have another go at it? Out of the last corner. We will go green again here in Toronto. And it will be Christian Lundgaard taking us to that green flag on the run down towards turn 1. We're racing again here on the streets of Toronto. Good start from Lundgaard. Gets about, what, 5/10 advantage into turn 1 over the Rainbow Road.
Harvey's also still.
Harvey's, yeah,
Is he? I don't know.
Harvey's out of the race, yeah. So Harvey, Blomqvist and Wayne Pedersen out of the race, yeah. Look at Colton Herta already on that restart right behind Roman Grosjean. Grosjean's going defensive. Herta's going to dive around the outside, coming in towards turn 3. And up the inside, Kyle Kirkwood lapping traffic. That's Kirkwood getting ahead of Rosenqvist. And Rosenqvist getting forced out a little bit. Powers coming into that little battle. Powers up the inside at 4. Trying to take Felix. Bit of a close one. Just about avoids all the contact on the inside line running up the hill. Herta hasn't managed to pass Grosjean. He's still behind him. Pallou's passed Herta though. So Palou has managed to gain where Herta couldn't. Now he's going to attack Roman. Starting lap number 10 now of this race, coming out of the last 2 corners. 75 laps to go. Lundgaard leads the way. Now on to lap 11. And I think, Megan, as well, this could be quite an interesting little turnaround because Lundgaard's already pulled a second away to that of the leading packs with Lundgaard in there.
Getting quite close to the side of the wall. I can't tell who it is. Kyle Kirkwood. Kyle Kirkwood's getting quite close to the side of the wall there as he's going down the straight.
Oh, look who's further ahead of him. That's Dixon.
Quite massively just then. He should have sped up a little bit more quickly after the corner.
Oh, Palou's in trouble because here comes Herta muscling his way through 4. Herta very nearly in the wall, the apex. Herta literally throwing do-or-dies into the wall. And Palou's going to have to do all that towing once again. Grosjean staying into position. Lundgaard's done a 1:02.061, so he's taken already some slight faster times as we start lap 12. As we were wondering, they are clean and green through turn 1. Nick Yeoman's famous last words, they were clean and green through the entrance of turn 2, yeah. Just good so far. Look at this from Herta. Now he's got the toe of Grosjean. Grosjean goes to the inside. Herta says, okay, I'll play that game. He sends it to the inside line, almost hits the side of the support wall, and Herta muscles his way through to 11th position. Grosjean got caught completely by surprise. Nobody expects him to do that. Grosjean's going to try and fight back at 4. That's too dangerous in my opinion from Coulter, but it's brave. He's took the move done. Look at this.
True. So how has Lundgaard managed to make 2 seconds?
Hang on, that's Palou trying to pass Grosjean. The 2 came together with wheel banging. That's what allowed Herta to slip back through on the inside of Alex Palou. Well, I was wondering what the difference between the 2 of them was, and now we know. Scott says, shame on NBC for not putting this on USA with NASCAR being cancelled. I agree with you. And this race being on Peacock only as well in the States is not fair. They should have put it there. It's not correct at all. Not correct. But we do these every race weekend for IndyCar. We do the watch-alongs and we're always live for Indy. And look at Newgarden. He's closing in on Marcus Armstrong. He's going to go for a little move on the inside of turn 3. That's extremely late, but good from Newgarden. Now the race is getting into the swing of things. Good long sling up the inside move there on Armstrong. And Newgarden keeping it into position. I'm just expecting Lundgaard to take us the race. 2 seconds clear, and McLaughlin already going to the first pit stops.
Why is Di Francesco from the pit lane? Shouldn't he have done that during the...
Yeah, I think he's got a bigger problem than we thought. He's through 2 laps down on the... No, 3 laps now down on the field as we start lap 14.
He may as well just quit now.
I think Devlin might be out of it. He did have a huge part of the accident. Look, he's in the pit lane, number 29. You can see it on the driver tracker. Look at the gap there. The green dot, the solid green dot, is the race leader. That is Christian Lundgaard. Look at that. He's got so much already to McLaughlin. And O'Ward is trying to pass him now. On board with Colton Herta. His next victim is Marcus Armstrong in towards turn number 3. He's going to go to the inside line extremely late. Armstrong sort of goes a little bit on the defensive through the curve, but there's no stopping Herta. He's on the inside. Now, Herta is on the black primary tyre. Armstrong and Newgarden are on the green alternative tyre, the sticker greens, which are green on street courses, red on road courses, and we don't have them on ovals. But interesting to see that it's the black primaries that are having the better run out instead of the sticker greens, which is what Lundgaarden's on. So it's sort of like give or take, because Lundgaarden's flying away from McLaughlin.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out how he's done that, because last time I looked, he was a second behind what he actually was.
Yeah.
And that was like a minute ago.
Have you finished it? Oh, that's it. I need my phone back. Don't you have your own phone?
It's charging in my room.
Ah, I was wondering why you nicked mine. Thanks to Josh T for sending me that image.
My charger comes on Tuesday, by the way.
Ah, right. Pit windows, I'm just writing down.
Is that right?
I'm not too sure. Let's go down pit road.
Strategy. They'll move forward, but maybe not as much as they had hoped by staying out longer.
Tell you what, look ahead of Colton Herta. The 2 Team Penske teammates have found each other. That's Will Power, Joseph Newgarden, the 2 black and red cars. And Newgarden's been on a charge. Can he make the difference here on his teammate? He's on the alternate tyre. Those green-walled Waiulis. Will Power is on the primary, so watch the difference.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. It's a 2-stop strategy. I've just noticed of as well that what Josh T sent me. So 2 stops, 30 to 32 laps. They can take the pit window as well. That's including on tyres. So 2-stopper is the right call. Now, we've already seen a couple of them come into the pit lane for some tyres as well. So it could be quite interesting. What are you doing?
Okay. I am going to make you guess. Will we get another caution in the next 10 laps?
That one.
I haven't chosen yet.
Well, I'm going to have to interrupt you because Marcus Armstrong's under pressure from Roman Grosjean. He's trying to go around the outside to turn 3. Oh, beautiful move from Roman. Can he nail the landing? Armstrong side by side with him. Here comes Palou on the inside. And Grosjean sticks the landing. And Palou dives through for good measure. Oh, beautiful. Yes. Yes, we will, because that's what the peg is. Yeah, okay. Well, this could be fun. Armstrong's dropping positions, and he's on the alternative tyres. Armstrong pits. Armstrong into the pit lane. Now, that is extremely early on these green tyres for a 2-stopper.
Di Francesco's still in the pit lane. I think he's out of it.
I think Devlin's out of it as well, so you may as well add him to the list of outs as well on the notes up here.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah,
he's got his tyres off.
He's got suspension damage, so Devlin Di Francesco might get back in this race, but numerous amounts of laps down.
There's basically no point by that point.
No, there isn't, is there? 45 has a lead already, yeah. Ross is going to get a sting from Stingray for that.
Oh, hit the curbs there. Scott McLaughlin did and almost went into the wall, though thankfully he was able to save it. Though with me around, that won't last long.
4 seconds.
4 seconds. Do you know what? Just give Lundgaard the win now. I mean, if he can get that, he can get that much in just a few laps of a gap between him and McLaughlin. He deserves a win. Rosenquist has gone into the pit lane.
Ah, so that's a scheduled stop for the R McLaren.
And Malukas.
Ah, okay, so this pit stop's coming in then. It must be. So they must have been fueled quite short. Let's go down pit road.
There's Felix Rosenquist. This is a different car than what he started the weekend with. A great recovery after a crash. It was really just the front wing that damaged the tub. They get him out, they qualify up front, and he is away.
Malukas.
David Malukas in the Dale Coyne Racing with HMG.
Yeah, well, Malukas having a pit stop run as well now up there on the deck. He's looking quite strong. Fingers crossed he's going to remain strong as they come back into the braking zone for turn number 3 and 4. Hertz moving his way up. He's got Joseph Newgarden directly ahead of him now. And there is Graham Rahal right at the back of the field. He's now battling. Who's he trying to battle? Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Bang on time. Thank you. A nice little drink. Cold as well. Thank you. Well, mediumly cold as they come in. So looking at that, Megan, as well. Into the pit lane, Carl Kirkwood and Joseph Newgarden. So, early fuel loads for those on the alternative tyres. Everyone, so when's Lundgaard coming in? Is that why he's so fast? He got such a speed up at the front?
6 laps time.
Black primaries go on. And away goes Newgarden. Now, is Newgarden going to jump? No, it's round the curve here, isn't it? So, Kirkwood gets out. Black tyres seem to be the call here. Whoa, black tyres. Bam, bam. Ferrucci getting a lap back, crucially, on half the field. Not on Lundgaard yet. Lundgaard's had 2 poles. One at the Indy Road course.
Oh.
One at here. And he hasn't yet won a race. And he's into the pit lane. Okay, so those on the alternative tyres have decided that an early stop is key. And the race leader is in. Scotty Mack takes the lead with Pato O'Ward second. Marcus Ericsson third. Dixon is fourth. And Power moves into the top 5.
It won't last.
No, well, let's hear from our pit leader.
So the race might be decided during this stint. This will be a long ring going to the primary Firestones.
Oh. Where's the
5? Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, Vivid Clear car is back out.
Well, this
picture break up there on our TV screens. That's always fun, but where's he come back out? He's come back out in 15th place. No, yeah, 16th.
No, 12th.
Yep, you're right. Sorry, got ahead of myself there.
It messed up on the monitors
Yeah.
for some reason. It kept showing him way further down.
So that's Lundgaard in 12th. He's behind Ilott and in between Ilott and Canapino, the 2 teammates.
Yeah.
So that's the in between the Junkos Racing squad. Fair dues. Lap 20 of 85 here for the Grand Prix of Toronto. And here is Christian. I think he can do it, you know. I've got a good feeling he can get this race win. And into the pits comes O'Ward.
Here is Pato O'Ward.
Dylan
And he
Welsh.
does stay out a lap longer than Lundgaard on the alternates. He'll take those off, put the primary Firestones on. Will Anderson, the engineer, was asking him if he could stay out a couple more laps. They wanted to go a little bit longer, but Pato wanted to come in and get the alternates off, so he'll go to the primaries for his first stint on those.
So, first stint on the primary tyre. Away they go. So I thought you said something, but it was a tyre screeching. Too similar. Well, you are. You sort of blend into the background with sometimes.
The umbrella is in my reach.
Yeah, all right. I have got a metal chair, just say.
I've got a bigger chair.
Okay. Down, Megan. Lap 21 of 85. First pit stop rounds coming in. Everyone now running on the black tyre. No one out there on the greens. As we ride on board with Pato O'Ward running now in 14th place after his pit stop. McLaughlin leads by 2.6 seconds. Can the curse be broken? Every single time Megan's in the commentary box, he never ever seems to win a race, does he, Scott McLaughlin?
Yes.
What is it about you and McLaughlin? Is that you and Hartley, Brendan Hartley?
It just happens. Nothing against. Like with Hartley, nothing against. It's just the universe. If I ever met them, they'd probably end up breaking their leg.
Josh T, can you just check we're still on USON 2, please? Because I just realised we went to an ad break, and that might have sent USON to an ad break as well. I forgot about that. I apologise, everyone on USON, if you had an ad break.
Well, you would have got some interesting things to think.
Yeah, everyone, I was mid-sentence and I couldn't stop it in time. I've turned them off now so it won't happen the rest of the race. But I was mid-sentence. So I'm now slightly worried that I'm going to be saying something like, And now look as well, under the caution, Scott McLaughlin leads, and he's 2 seconds clear of Waitrose. Things like that. By new utterly butterly, I can't believe it's not butter.
Or, and he's 2 seconds ahead of, have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault?
Yeah, that would be it. Let's get out to the pit lane then with Kevin.
I mean, exactly what you didn't want to happen, obviously, but take us through your perspective of when you came around there and the track was kind of blocked.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it there. I mean, this is the last thing that I wanted to, happen today. My goal was just simply to just, whatever, I don't know who it was. Someone hit someone, and I was on the outside of that corner. I couldn't get across. I knew this is a risk looking at the race from last year. So I really didn't want to be there, but I had no choice at the time. The problem is then you're at the mercy of people on your inside, and unfortunately they couldn't make it work. And I was the last guy there, just get pushed into the wall. So I'm pretty furious, to be honest, because I had no, I'm not out there fighting for anything. I just wanted to get a race distance under my belt. So exactly not what I wanted to happen today. So I'm pretty devastated and pretty gutted. So really sorry for the guys, the team as well. They've worked really hard to, and it's been, a good opportunity for me to be here, and to not even get one lap is obviously extremely frustrating.
Yeah, tough break and tough end of the day for Tom and the 60 guys.
Tom, I'm so heartbroken, and I really am, because...
Do you think he'll get another shot?
He has surprised everybody this weekend. Coming in without any testing, doing so well in qualifying, and I don't think Pagenaud is going to be fit just yet with the concussion rules. So Iowa next week I don't think Pagenaud should return to Iowa. I don't think that's a call that should be made, ideally. So I would say my answer to that is yes, he'll be racing next weekend at Iowa in the doubleheader.
Good. He deserves another shot, and I hope he wins.
He definitely does deserve a shot, and definitely does deserve a chance to get the race win. Sorry about that, we lost our pictures for a second. As we ride on board with Christian Lundgaard, he's 10th at the moment, he has pitted, but yet to stop. McLaughlin, Ericsson, Dixon, Power, Herter, Grosjean, Palou, VK, Castroneves. The top 9, basically. Scotty Mack, 2.6 now, clear of Ericsson. Penske doing well with McLaughlin ahead of Power. Again, why are you going to a commercial break when you're on Peacock? You don't need to. Okay.
Are they okay?
I think they're having some mental breakdowns as well. Anyway, we get to hear Tom Gaymore in the background, which is fine. But we don't hear the track noise for a bit, which I think is a nice alternative to, the other way around we had it last time out in Mid-Ohio. That really annoyed everybody. That was a long day 2 weeks ago when nothing was working right. It was nice here. Scott says, will be interesting to see where the 3 comes out. I think the 45 might be getting held up. Looking at the timing screen on the Deltas, yes, you're right. 45 is stuck behind Venus VK, and he's got Helio Castroneves just behind him as well, so he's got sort of getting boxed in. And I think there's a nice little gap there, isn't there, Megan, forming for McLaughlin to come out just behind the 10.
Yeah.
So, of Alex Palou. So there's a nice little gap there forming, but he's going to go around again. He's not going to come in the pit lane. So we continue for another run around. It'll be lap 27 of the race. 60 laps to go already then here at the Grand Prix of Toronto. And so many people watching across YouTube and on Twitch and on USON listening in as well. First time our commentary has ever been across 3 different platforms.
Was it?
Yeah. 3 different platforms. Oh, hang on. That's Ray Hall getting a move by O'Ward. O'Ward's dove on the inside line, and he's taken Ray Hall as we've been on board with him. That was a nice little move. And he was indeed sneaky, as you said. He just sort of went whoop, right at the inside.
That was very sneaky. That's like when... I don't even know that's when. It's like when someone cuts in front of you.
Yeah. The gentleman's excuse me.
It's like, excuse me.
Bang, up the inside. That's it. Goodbye and good night. Don't need to pit anytime soon. Although, O'Ward, I think he has pitted, hasn't he? Anyway, time to re-sync up.
Do you know what I've just weirdly thought The fact that, do you know how some people say this, like, oh, they're just a child? It's like, what, that excuses people?
No, it doesn't.
Just like, I hate when people say, oh, well, they're just a child, they don't know better. Yeah, well, whose fault is that? Theirs or yours for not teaching them better?
I hate the fact that you're now an adult because you're going to start complaining about these things and actually have sense. To me, you're the baby. Oh dear.
It's like, I've always seen so many things with the way some people just like raise their children. I've always had such strong opinions. Even as a child, like at 10 years old, I was judging.
You were judging from 2.
True.
Lungard's going to have a run here on VK towards turn 3. VK's going to go defensive. Lungard's going to try and sail around the outside. Oh, that was nearly an aeroplane accident. And we've seen him down there before at turn 3 with fatal consequences.
Right. They really couldn't sneak up on anyone, could they, the bright green cars?
No, Lungard in it at the moment.
They're just there.
Ferrucci's run it this season. As has, of course, a famous livery for Danica Patrick. Devlin Di Francesco has left the pit lane.
What is the point?
He's 19 laps down. So unless we get 19 safety cars and he gets the lap around, I don't think that's going to happen. Then again, we had like 8 safety cars in Toronto. No, where were we?
Not 19.
Where did we have 8? No, 11 cautions. Do you remember? In Nashville.
Yeah.
Year 1 of Nashville, 11 cautions.
Why isn't there any more cautions now?
No one's running into the back of each other yet.
Can they?
They're all too spread. Well, there's a nice little battle from the 5 onwards to the 11, so there's a nice little battle brewing there, but everyone's a bit too spread out. Be very careful not to knock the laptop because that leads incredibly thing today. Megan's now doing her pick us to death. It's Graham Rahal you've picked to retire. Pelot's looking on the inside of Grosjean coming into turn 9.
Either crash out or cause for caution. So you don't have to go out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Are these headphones working for you now with the adjusted volume?
Yes, because I can hear you through here. So I think that might have been like really hurting me because I could hear you through both ears, or one like very, very, very loud.
So that's now working then?
Yes, it's easier on me. And whenever Dad joins, it'll be easier on him too.
Good.
Because his headphones are naturally loud anyway.
They are his ones, yeah. The Berry Rig or whatever they are. Ideally, I'd like us all to have the same headset. That'd be nice. Dismiss with a double pinch. I don't know how to double pinch.
Can I try?
No, I'll just start playing something.
I think it's this.
Pelot's at the inside and gets ahead of Grosjean. Well, that was coming for a couple of moves, isn't it? Slip up the inside at 4 and got ahead. Say again. That was good from Pelot. Lined up perfectly with Roman. As soon as you look up from the screen, he's just going to slip up the inside.
Is he going to collide with
Lungard's pass. Let's have another look at it. This is it. Look, it was such a late lunge. Pelot was sliding, decides to lunge up the inside. It was so late, but beautiful at 4. Only just we caught it, but perfect time to look up on the monitor, to be fair.
It was.
Brilliant little dive bomb on the inside.
There's Rosen. Come on!
Cash Neves passes Pato O'Ward. VK now in 11th. Grosjean's not finding so much time back just yet. Oh, hello. Listen, you were talking about crashes. We've got Rahal Kirkwood in a battle as well. Down towards turn 3. Kirkwood's going to go to the inside line. Rahal's going to have to go defensive. Kirkwood's through. Rahal's going to try and do the switch back under braking. And here comes the 6.
Now he's in between two of my favourites, seriously.
Rosenquist tried to have a go on the inside. Didn't get it past. So they're still struggling.
Rahal, why don't you go away from both Rosenquist and Kirkwood, please?
I agree with Scott on this one. The point from Bal says, got to get the publicity for the sponsors, even if you're 19 laps down. I agree with that, and agree with Scott by agreeing with you.
Rahal, go bother Castroneves.
Yeah. Lap 32. Now, this is we're into the pit window, Megan. Lap 30 to 32. I would say extend that by 3 by the caution. Maybe a +3 for those caution laps. So we could see them coming in with about 50 laps to go for their first stop, those who started on the black primaries.
Yeah, I would say so.
They've got the best sort of run, haven't they? Those starts on the black primaries have got the best start to this race because they can go super long now on the blacks, do a quick run on the reds, or the greens, and then go forward as well on the last set of blacks at the end of the race.
I don't like where Rahal is.
Say again?
I don't like where Rahal is. I don't like where Rahal is.
Right. I love how I had to lean in there because I just couldn't. I'm wearing a headset. I can't hear you. Ray Hall is down in 15th.
Yeah. And who's he in between?
Starting last. And into the pit lane comes Romain Grosjean. So Grosjean dives in. First of the big starters on the blacks. Let's go down pit road.
The other leaders in around 3 laps or so. Probably Rahal off sequence by about lap 40 or 41. So the alternates are going to be the plan next. Everyone told me that you want to get that alternate run out of the way if you haven't run him yet. Probably be the only time we see him again, unless you end up with a really short stint somehow to finish the race.
So exactly as I said earlier, basically, which is they're going to run until 50 laps to go, and then they're going to put on the alternatives. Kirkwood's under pressure here. That's going to be from Agustin Canapino. Ilot's past Kirkwood. Canapino's past Rahal. Rahal is dropping down the order here.
Okay, that's good. Good. Just stay away from Rosenquist, please.
Herta pits. Herta dives in. Pit road, we ride with him now.
Rosenquist, pass him.
He just got on the brakes there, didn't he, Colton? So he pits from 6th. Once again, go down pit road.
We're on the same strategy, so this next stint is going to be their softer stint, the alternates, the green sidewalls. They want this to be as short as they can. He's a couple laps earlier than some. This is a very advantageous pit stall, and even better than last year. Last year, pit out had to make a hard right turn. Now it's just a straight exit for Colton Hurd in the Gamebridge car.
So he was just ahead of
Good getaway, good getaway. Still going to push the read nicely as well. And they put on the sticker reds.
He came back just in front of Rossi.
So that's put him down in around about 19th place. Wow, really bad stop for Herta. And it's all in this little drama as well as Canapino trying to be passed by Graham Rahal with a 15. A little behind, there's the McLaren as well of Rosenquist coming in the mix of it.
Just behind the loop.
And that's Newgarden coming in as well in 15th place. Ferrucci's a lap down. Rob's 4 laps down now as they come across the timing towers. So Stingray Rob has now been passed again. Ferrucci's going to be passed now. Command Blue been given for McLaughlin to go through. Battle for second. Oh, that's Newgarden dive bombing the inside of Rosenquist and making the move stick. And into the pit lane comes Agustin Canapino from this front battle.
Do you know what, that might actually work out better for me now?
What?
Rahal takes off either Isla or Newgarden.
Yeah, it might do. Well, he's your picker crasher, isn't he?
Exactly. Why I don't want it next to my favourite driver.
McLaughlin pits. Okay. Scotty does know when to call it. 3 laps later than planned. McLaughlin takes it down pit road and will send it to Kevin Lee.
Here is the Gallagher Insurance Chevy and McLaughlin's first stop of the day.
So he did a great job of creating a gap with Marcus Ericsson, left him, but not enough compared to Christian Lundgaard. I think he's probably going to come out about, 5 to 7, maybe 8 seconds behind Lundgaard with around 21 to 23 seconds lost on pit lane. McLaughlin back out. He is going to do the alternates, Firestone's shell fuel for this stop.
That was a decent stop from McLaughlin, gotta say. Ooh! Carl Kirkwood's in 19th.
Okay, Kirkwood's moving. So Carl Kirkwood's moving. Oh, it's 9th now.
Did I say 19th or 9th?
You said 19th.
9th.
And you meant to say 9th, yeah. I was wondering
See, my brain is not with it.
I was wondering where you were going with saying 19th. You meant 9th.
Yeah, I'm at 9th. I'm tired. I won't be cheering if Kirkwood is in 19th. I'll be saying, why?
Delilah?
Like how I'm saying, why is Rosenquist in 14th?
Quite funny, actually, that both Tom Jones and that other guy were singing about Delilah.
Yeah, she got around, didn't she?
Why, Delilah? And hey there, Delilah.
I think we know where Delilah went.
New York. Down to Anderson, who's in Toronto.
Leapfrog his way back up to the front, coming off his most disappointing result of the season after the crash at the start of the race 2 weeks ago in Mid-Ohio, looking for a result to get back somehow in the championship. Marcus Ericsson is back out on his alternate run.
Does he get ahead of VK? Cash and Evers into the pit lane as well as Callum Ilott.
Oh, Kirkwood.
Are we going to hear from them? No. So Cash and Evers pits. Ilott in 2 from further back in the field. Someone's got to have put that together by now. Tom Jones sings about Delilah, and then another guy says, "What's it like in New York City?" So, yeah. We know where Delilah ended up. Yeah.
Oh, that she did.
Dixon leads, but not for long. They're all coming in. Well, they've sort of committed, okay. Off go the blacks, and away onto the greens. Dixon, Power, Palou, all hit pit road, and all get time for their stops to come in. Retaking the lead is Christian Lundgaard.
Some more options. Nice job saving fuel, and then they can make their alternate run a little bit shorter.
Power and Dixon coming together. It's up to the mechanics to do a really super stop. Power could ideally gain a place here if the Penske mechanics to do a really super stop, and they've done so. Yes, he gets out ahead of Scott Dixon, and Palou gets out just behind them, but Power has jumped Dixon on the way out and gets out alongside Joseph Newgarden, and Newgarden gets ahead of his teammates. And meantime, we're seeing one of the McLaren side by side to turn 1. That's Rosenquist getting out of Palou. Palou gets the comeback at the exit of 2. They go side by side, and Palou goes through. That's crucial for 9th place, and here comes Power, right round the outside of Newgarden, down into the braking zone for turn 3. Can't do it. Dixon's going to send it. Nearly loses the wing. Great little battle for second here. Net second.
Wait, if Dixon's got net second,
well, Power
then
now. Newgarden now.
That means that Rosenquist has got net.
Yeah.
5th.
Yeah, he has. You are correct. Net 5th.
Yes.
Lundgaard leads, though, from Scott McLaughlin, Pato O'Ward, Carl Kirkwood, Marcus Ericsson, Joseph Newgarden, Will Power, Scott Dixon, Alex Palou, Felix Rosenquist. That's your top 10. Herta, Grosjean, Armstrong, Malukas, VK the 15. And Rossi's into the pits from McLaren. So Rossi said that's enough. Just wondering if we're going to see another little move some point. There's Rossi.
I want another crash.
Well, late cautions are a thing here, but we're approaching half distance, so we could get another crash at some point.
I really want another crash.
All it takes is one spin into the wall or one lock up of the brake, and it could bring out a full course yellow. It's a tight track here, of course. And this is Rosenquist.
Stingray Rob has such a cool name.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Indy Lights race winner.
His parents must have been like really good.
Well, his last name's Rob, so they've got to think, well, how can we better that? Okay, let's call him Sting.
And then Ray.
Yeah, well, Sting's his first name, Ray's his middle name.
Yeah, exactly. They thought that through.
They did, Sting Ray.
Were they very a fan of the animal? It was a coincidence, or they really like the TV show?
They're either a fan of the musician Sting,
yeah,
a fan of Stingray the fish, or a fan of Jerry Anderson.
Yeah.
Either way, Stingray Rob. Brilliant name.
Imagine saying that. Just like imagine going to school and just like, hi, my name's Stingray Rob.
That
I think he's lying.
That is Devlin DiFrancesco very much out of the race.
Finally, it took him a long time to come to terms with that.
But the timing tower is still showing him as out on the track. It's not showing us him as retired. In
it's
fact,
still coming to terms.
Yeah, it hasn't actually. It's
a bit slow.
Stingray Rob out there still. Yes, he is in the 51. Yeah. So Devlin DiFrancesco below are out of the race, and yet the timing tower hasn't detected that. That's not concerning at all, is it?
Very weird.
Yeah. Anyway, ours only goes to 24th, so it's already taken them out of the race. Devlin DiFrancesco has had to retire due to mechanical issue.
Well, anyone who saw how long he was in the pit lane could have told you this.
Or the fact that his wheels were like this.
Yeah.
For those of you on the radio who can't see.
Like a penguin.
Yes. The Penskes are holding each other up now. Power stuck behind Newgarden.
They're arguing about who's the favourite.
It's like that scene in The Simpsons. I'm seeing double. 4 Krusties.
Also, I've always liked this line from The Simpsons, just like, he said I was an accident. At least I was planned. No, stop. None of you were planned.
On board with the race leader, Lundgaard down towards the turn 3 as well. He's leading this race by 6 seconds to McLaughlin. Full course yellow! What's happened?
What's happened? Is it Rahal?
No, someone's hit the wall somewhere.
28.
Oh, it's Grosjean! Grosjean's in the wall, big time! Romain Grosjean has hit the wall. Where is it? That's at the last corner. He's coming into the pit. He's at the pit wall.
He's coming out of a way up to the line.
Last corner, yeah. How's he done that? And he's dislodged the pit wall. This might have to be a red flag.
Lock up, I think.
Yeah, look at the tyre marks. He's gone straight into that. Well, he's a complete brake failure mid-corner.
Yeah.
That's a nasty one. And the pit wall's damaged as well. They might have to stop this race.
And the lines are straight. There's no sign of it trying to move, so obviously the wheels could not move from their position.
Oh, don't stop there! My God! What are you doing? The AMR safety team just nearly killed Scott McLaughlin and Pato O'Ward.
They nearly were ironic.
Yes.
The safety team out for blood.
Grosjean locked up exit the corner and has hit the pit wall.
And not donations.
No. He's dislodged the pit wall. Look at that. He's dislodged it. The actual concrete barrier's come loose. He's hit it right on the exit pole. They might have to realign that.
He's hit it right at the weakest point it is.
Well, considering they might have to realign it...
Yeah, you can literally see.
It's dented, yeah. I would say this could be...
A good shove might do it.
Yeah. Under caution, at half distance, lap 43 with 43 to go.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Another one.
You did indeed. Grosjean crashes again then. If Jess is watching, well, I don't know she is because she's doing One Hub racing stuff, then I'm sorry. Megan wants my phone. She's immediately picked it up. Have I got a text message or anything?
From Luke.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Luke. I know. I'll reply to you in a second, mate. Then, I reckon, what do you think? Bring the cars in through the pit lane or... Because that's damaged, how good can they move that in? It's such a delicate part of the track.
Maybe a shove. Like shove it at the other end with other people trying to control how far it's shoved at the other.
Oh, I'm just thinking, can they get a car down there? They can't, so they've got to block the track up to get that part of the barrier repaired, and that means that it's a big forklift truck that has to come onto the circuit. It's a minuscule problem. It really is, but it's because it's one of the narrowest parts of the track where Grosjean's crashed, and the fact it's a safer barrier for the pit lane that is just making me worried. And look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Cars having to come through, and they are nearly hitting the cars. The AMR safety team. They are so close, like very close. It's right at the most dangerous point in the track where it's blind. I never liked the pit lane here. I don't get why they moved the pit lane. I really don't. Pit lane used to be so nice here, and then they ruined it by going to the other side, and it just causes nothing but issues. They're going to recover the car quite quickly. The pace cars bunch them up. But look at this. This is the problem, Megan. Look. Pace car's already at turn 3. And the entire field's down the back straightaway. They need to bunch right up. They're still not bunched up enough.
They really need to get a move on with that car before they come round.
And that's why we're going to lose more times in this pit lane battle as well, behind the safety car once more. Full course yellow is out then, once again at Toronto, the second time today. You're back with us. If you're watching us on Peacock or around the world, welcome back. If you're syncing up our coverage across JB Motorsports on YouTube and Twitch and USON via Mixler, we welcome you back to the Grand Prix of Toronto. We've passed half distance, and just like the race started, the race is currently under full course yellow. Romain Grosjean hitting the wall at the exit of turn 10, which is the penultimate corner, has brought up the caution, and the AMR safety team nearly crashing into McLaughlin and Pato O'Ward. Those on the tyres that want to get off are coming into the pit lane, Megan, because we've got Kirkwood, Palou in. Let's head down pit road.
Toronto, tell us more, Kev.
Well, the original thought was people were going to stay out, and then it's, all right, we see some people pitting, and you're hearing calls like, if they go in front of you, go ahead and pit. There's Kyle Kirkwood that we see coming around. There's Alex Palou in the Journey Rewards livery for the number 10. Colton Herta is going to come in all the way and pit out, so it is very mixed up. Kirkwood is the first to get away from that. Then it's Herta, and then Palou is just going to barely beat out Felix Rosenquist, and Herta will chase that group.
I like this strategy here. I'm surprised that more people didn't come to pit lane because last year the exact same thing happened. Everybody pitted on lap 46 and made it to the end. However, there were 2 more yellows to complete the race. So these guys will all need yellow to help them make it to the end.
And the leaders all want green at this point.
And if a yellow happens on a restart, which is always possible at Toronto with the amount of marbles on the track, all the front-running cars are way out of luck.
So we're going to be worried about that now as well, aren't we? Look at that barrier, Megan. Would you need it like that? I'm not. I don't like that. That's alarming to me. It's at an angle. Let's have a look. So he jumps the curve at 10, locks up, and goes straight into the wall.
What's going on again?
Lost the wheel from my hands again. I don't know what's going on. Remember when he had back-to-back runner-ups? Since then, nothing better than 13th, and most are in the 20s. It has been a rough stretch.
All right.
We're coming back to green flag running here at Toronto. Oh, McLaughlin looks to go on the inside, so they're not going to stop the race. They're not going to repair the barrier. They're going to hope and pray it's okay. Green flag once more here at Toronto as they come back down towards turn 1. Look at McLaughlin. Oh, we're going to crash in the wall. Top of the hill.
Well,
coming out the pit lane. And it is... Oh, is that Castron Evans? It is. Castron Evans has spun round and stalled in the centre of the track, and the yellow's back out again. We didn't even get to green. He's going to refire it, but now he's driving the wrong way on the track. Oh, now he's hit the wall on the entrance.
Just give up.
Helio, you can't 360 it, mate. You've just made the problem a hell of a lot worse. SpongeBob is laughing at you. AMR safety team of death comes out once again to recover, and it's the same part of the track again. They're going to push him round, but look, the field are coming. Oh my God, the field are coming into this part of the track. I can't watch.
I only want to watch.
The field are now at this part of the track, and I'm really scared because we've got a car stationary. Oh, please, please, please tell the drivers to cool it down. That's all I want to know. They're approaching it now. They've got him round. They've pulled out the dollies. So the field can get through here. And they're going to try and restart Cashton Evans' car. It's stuck in gear. He stalled it. Now they've got it into neutral. Okay, caution out again then. Yellows breach yellows. We never even got back to green. Let's take a look how we did it then, Megan. Oh, he's lost it under acceleration. That's Palou. Palou hit the wall. Palou was forced to go into the wall. Has he got wing damage? That's a big, big worry. Palou's down to 16th now. So this is Cashlevez on the bump. And he gets a shove from behind from Kyle Kirkwood. It's Kyle Kirkwood who hits the back of Cashlevez. This is Palou, look. Yeah, he touched the wall, Megan, front right. Well, hello everybody, and I'm sorry for cutting us off, but we are about to go green for qualifying. So let's resume with IndyCar Radio, and shortly, myself, Adam and Omi from the pit lane will be joining you for qualifying.
Still wet, and now the whole inside of my pants are soaking. So not that it matters to you, but I'm sopping wet now.
It looks fairly dry to me. It looks like we're probably going to get going here in a second. So we'll see. Track evolution might be pretty big here. So the later you run, the faster the cars will get, most likely after this rain washes away some of that rubber. But yeah, looking forward to having a good weekend here, and it all starts right now with this qualifying.
You had a great session yesterday. The car was extremely quick. What are your thoughts about, I mean, the rain was so quick. I doubt it rubbed or washed most of the rubber away, but everything looks still good. But do you think the track will have changed from what you had yesterday?
Maybe slightly. I don't think it'll be too big of a difference. It's obviously maybe a little bit cooler than what we ran in yesterday in the heat, and it'll be definitely cooler than what we'll run in today in the race. So thinking about that, there might be some minor changes that we might make, but it shouldn't be too different.
Lastly, your race car. How comfortable are you with getting through the field? Hopefully you'll be up at the front. It looks like you're extremely fast, but the car as a whole, especially in traffic, we saw a lot of boggles with slower cars yesterday.
Yeah, it's the name of the game here is how early do you pit and get those fresh tires on, and the undercut's huge, but you leave yourself vulnerable to yellow. So really not sure. You have to see how this qualifying goes, and there's a lot of unknowns for everybody going into the race. So luckily, if you don't get in on the first one, you got another one tomorrow to hit it on.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
That's Colton Herta. He's getting ready to qualify here at the Iowa Speedway.
We've been told 3 minutes. A little problem spot at the exit of the pits, Davey, which, that's the thing. When it boils down to moisture on the racetrack, you can't have it anywhere near where these cars are going to go.
And that's one area that's really, if you just tell the driver to be cautious, they'd be fine. So, but why not? We got a little bit of time. Just it's a small area. They got the brooms and blowers down there. They'll get that one little area dried up, and we'll be qualifying here pretty soon.
There was a safety truck position right about the apex of turn number 1 for a little while, and they were focused the blower on one spot specifically, and they have since moved that away, and we're now being told 2 minutes to go. And once we get underway, helping us handle the proceedings throughout this qualifying, high atop turn number 4 is Nick Yeoman.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, Mark. This is just a fantastic oval right here in Newton, Iowa, 7/8 of a mile in length. The back straightaway banked at 4 degrees, although that's a little misleading because a good third of the back straightaway is corner entry and another third could be considered corner exit, so you're not on that 4-degree banking for very long. Corners here are banked at 12 to 14 degrees. Front straightaway banked at 10 degrees. Obviously, we talk about the bumps. Every year you come to Iowa Speedway, thanks to those harsh Iowa winters, some new bumps pop up. But over the years, drivers have talked about navigating the bumps there in turns 1 and 2, where the tunnel is, being the most challenging. And I think the most noticeable thing, Mark, as we wait for Ed Carpenter's car to fire, is just how much paint you see through the infield and around the facilities. It has really livened this place up. Of course, this IndyCar Hy-Vee weekend, everybody looking forward to it. And it sounds like, Mark, we're about 60 seconds away from qualifying finally starting. Let's hear from Santino Ferrucci. He's on pit lane with Jake Query.
And I don't know why, but I just think of this racetrack, I think Santino Ferrucci, and I think it's going to be wild. Your thoughts?
I think wild's about the best way you can put it. Last time I was here in 20, even in 19, man, we were a human highlight reel, just passing people 3 wide.
You're kind of a human highlight reel regardless of where we are, right?
That's a great point. I try not to be, and the more I try not to be, the more it turns into that. So it's kind of one of those funny things. But no, we'll see what we get today. Fairly confident in our race car. No idea what we're getting with the Q car here. Bunch of overnight changes, just trying to get it a little bit more calmed down for that long run. And yeah, man, just 2 laps flat out, or as flat as we can get it, and see what happens.
Lastly, as the track opens up here for qualifying, is this track tempting? Because, it is kind of a traffic jam, but I would imagine there are times you want to go for it, but are there narrow lanes for you to proceed?
It's very tempting. I think if you've got the cojones to send it out there and make it stick, especially at the start of this race, it pays off. And as long as you got the front wing in the car to hold you down to the track, you're good to go.
Appreciate the time.
No worries. Thank you.
Santino Ferrucci. Mark?
And I think he does. He'd be one of those guys. Yeah.
Well, he knows he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a guy that said, I'll take it easy and become right. Sure. As soon as he puts that helmet on, he's brave, but he's good, and he has been some highlight. Indianapolis, he did some outstanding moves there. Got paid attention by. I see Dale Earnhardt Jr. going, who is this kid? I mean, you see the moves he made, and he is very good, man. He gets the job done for sure.
And finally, qualifying is underway, and the first taker is Ed Carpenter. He'll be followed by Stingray Robb, Harvey, Daly, DeFrancesco, Canapino, Castro Neves, Hunter Ray, Malukas, and Santino Ferrucci. will be the first 10 that you will see. Ed Carpenter off of turn number 4 sees the green flag. He'll start cross the start-finish line. The run is underway into turn number 2, Nick.
There was a brief puff of smoke on his warm-up lap into turn number 1, but everything looks good for Ed Carpenter, already setting up for turn number 3. Nose of that car gold, rear of the car black as Ed Carpenter lets it wash up the racetrack out of turn 4.
About 18 seconds or so is what they'll turn laps around here at for Ed Carpenter. Lap number 1, 176.605 miles per hour. This win will determine his starting position for race number 2.
That's right. Lap 1 for race 1, lap 2 for Sunday's race 2. The driver, the veteran from Indianapolis, Indiana, out of turn number 4, Ed Carpenter has completed his qualifying run.
Lap number 1, 18.2237, 176.605. Davey, lap number 2, 18.0595, much quicker, 178.211.
The situation, he did bottom out on that warm-up lap getting down into turn 1. Fairly significant when you can see a puff of smoke come off the bottom of the car. So he probably had to take it a little easy on that first one, get heat in these tires. Good, Ed was pretty quick yesterday. That should put him, not very good in the first race, but the second race he maybe be mid-pack.
You will see and hear references for those that didn't join us yesterday. This is a quote-unquote impound situation, so let folks know what that means.
So for the impound, this car of Ed's is going to get stopped here, and you will see it stay there. It's not going to, they can't take it, they can't touch it, and that car sits until the green flag. Nothing can be changed on that, so they impound the car. It goes straight on this track for the race. Now, tomorrow's a little different. They have a chance for a final warm-up tomorrow. They can change the car, but today, what you qualify is what you race.
Stingray Robb comes off of turn number 4. Aaron Likens will hand him the green flag as he crosses the start-finish line and points into turn number 1.
Aaron Likens points to turn 1. That's exactly where Stingray Robb navigates. The driver from Idaho now down the back straightaway takes that car right up against the outside wall, already bending it to the left through turns 3 and 4.
Left side's below that yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack, washes out wide to the exit of turn number 4. White flag flies. Lap number 1, 18.7752, 171.442.
The car is white with some blue and green accents. The rear wing a navy blue for Stingray Robb, one of the IndyCar rookies getting up to speed here at Iowa Speedway. At a turn 4, roars Stingray Robb.
18.7725, 171.442. Lap number 2, Davey, 18.4379, 174.554.
Yeah, that first lap, that's painfully slow. Unfortunately, Stingray probably just didn't feel confident and comfortable just going out getting after. That's way off the pace. Picked it up 3 miles an hour. That helps him a lot for that second race at that 174.5.
Let's hear from Ed Carpenter, Michael Young.
Well, Nick Gilman saw a little puff of smoke from underneath your car. Did you bottom out on that first lap?
Yeah, both laps, a little bit out of 4. It's hard setting right heights because going faster than we will the rest of the day. So it's a bit of a guess, especially with the weather. So pretty happy with lap 2. Hopefully they'll both hang in there okay.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
That's Ed Carpenter, guys.
Yeah, talk about that ride height, Davey, and the roll of the dice that could be from time to time.
Yeah, well, what happens is you usually have a little bit of time with the track changing. The rain has come. These cars are so sensitive to ride height. The lower you can get the car, the better. But you don't want them to bottom out. You don't want them to touch. And until heat gets in those tires, they tend to want to do that. And that pressure in the tire, we come around for the green flag right now, it is important. It is key, and it usually takes a couple laps to get the heat in those tires.
Jack Harvey already setting up for turn number 2 on his qualifying run.
Looked like a bit of a wiggle at the exit of turn number 1. His car washes up the racetrack in turn number 2. Might have scrubbed off a little bit of speed mark as Jack Harvey is already exiting turn 4.
And again to the bottom of the racetrack between 3 and 4. A couple of feet off of that outside retaining wall. Lap number 1 for Jack Harvey. 176.743 into turn number 2.
Last time Jack Harvey qualified on an oval, it was a heroic bonsai run just to make the Indianapolis 500. We'll see what he can do here in America's heartland. Jack Harvey out of turn 4 at Iowa Speedway.
Already back to the start-finish line and the checkered flag off of 176.743. Lap number 2, 178.211. In both instances, Davey, he's fastest of the 3 qualifiers so far.
Yeah, well, actually Carpenter is faster still in the second race. He's still faster. His first lap was quicker. He shows him on the pole the first race, but the second one, he's down 1 spot.
Stingray Robbs with Jake Query.
And I would imagine that track was probably pretty green after that rain had come and washed away any road that might have been there. Did it feel any different?
Yeah, I thought that it was going to be even more green than it was. I think that there was actually more grip than I was expecting out there, and I did too big of a lift on the first lap. But, yeah, I was pretty happy with the car. I think that they did a good job getting it to where it needed to be. That was our first real chance at a quali run. just the way what traffic was yesterday. So it's all right, but I wish that I was able to push a little harder.
Best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Stingray Rob.
Warm-up laps for Connor Daly underway. So again, right now, Harvey, Carpenter, Rob for race number 1 qualifying. Carpenter, Harvey, Rob, race number 2 qualifying. Green flag is out for Connor Daly, subbing for Simon Pagenaud this weekend, setting up for turn 2.
One career pole for Connor Daly. It came right here at Iowa Speedway. That pink and black race car darts down the 4 degrees of banking on the back straightaway. Connor Daly already into turn 3.
Setting up for turn number 3, clears it, no problem. Off of turn number 4, Connor Daly to the start-finish line. And lap number 1, 175.630, already setting up for the backstretch.
Carey's Country, the SiriusXM station, the sponsorship on that car this weekend. Everybody looking forward to seeing her perform a little bit later today. How does Connor Daly perform, Mark, out of turn 4 here in qualifying?
Aims it to the start-finish line. Connor Daly, second quick for race number 2 qualifying so far, Davey, 176.922. So third quick so far in the first race qualifying, and then second quick in the
That's
second.
right. Yep, and we're going to see a lot of that. It get mixed up in what's happening. Obviously, these drivers just trying to build the confidence and seeing what they have that first lap. It's just not an easy task to do. If you bottom out of the wrong place, it could turn that car around and have bigger problems. So, been cautious on the first one. So, obviously, Connor did that same thing. Both good laps, though. Like I say, he's third right now in the first one and second in the next one.
Let's hear from Jack Harvey.
Well,
Michael,
Jack is headed up pit lane, and obviously that is to help your teammate. What did you find out on your
Welcome back to qualifying. We're back up with the main team here on JB Motorsports, just as Devlin DiFrancesco does his first lap time speed of 177.530 miles per hour here in for race 1 and race 2 qualifying speed. Your first lap in this session determines your speed for race 1, your second for race 2, and Devlin DiFrancesco at the moment puts it up into third position for race 2. It's an interesting format. Race 1 is currently Devlin DiFrancesco, followed by Harvey, Carpenter, Daly and Rob. Then we go to race 2, which shows Carpenter, Daly, DiFrancesco, Harvey and Rob as well. So 2 different speed runs on 2 different laps gives you your race order. Alongside me in the commentary box is Adam. And Adam, we weren't supposed to be doing this, but a delay to proceedings. IndyCar Radio taking us through the first couple here. You've just joined us live on Twitch as well. So we're all set to go. And I'd just like to point out as well, somebody asked how do we watch this in the UK for free. It's very easily done. All you need to do is go to IndyCarLive.com and you can watch qualifyings and the practice sessions for free. Races are £2.29 a month as well. But Adam, welcome to you. Interesting little battle going on here to have 2 qualifying sessions in one and 2 lap times going through for the both.
Yeah, Josh. Iowa Speedway is a popular short track, you know, that the NTT IndyCar Series runs on. So, and championship leader Alex Blow is not normally good at this track. So yeah, maybe some of the stars, you know, from second on back, like Scott McLaughlin and Joseph Newgarden, catch up with Chip Ganassi Racing Superstar. So right now it's early on in qualifying. So on track is the rookie Austin Canapino from Argentina, and he's used to competing on road courses. So he doesn't have a lot of oval track experience. So we'll see how he does here on the short track.
He's just qualified
in foreign country.
Yeah, he's just qualified 5th in both race 1 and race 2 at the moment. Race 1 speed, 175.044. Race 2 speed, 175.563 miles per hour. So next up is Helio Castroneves out there onto the circuit. And it's an interesting qualifying format. We like it. It's quite quick, but we've had to wait over an hour for it.
Yes. Yes, we have. Helio has done really good here. He won here in 2017, climbing the fence, so we'll see how he does. But one thing we have to think about is Simon Pagino and Alex Palou and Helio Castroneves be back next year for Shank Racing, because last weekend in Toronto we saw their IMSA driver Tom Blomqvist in the number 60 car with Simon Pagino. So Tom Blomqvist be a contender for a full-time seat next year?
I hope so.
I'm going to say yes. I mean, yeah, because I know he crashed out, on lap one last time out on the streets of Toronto. But I think he deserves a shot. I really do.
Castroneves, his first lap time speed for race 1, 177.155. That's put him second on the grid. His race 2 lap speed across the line, 177.720. So that puts him second on the grid in both races so far. It's a very strong lap time there from Castroneves. The race, do you know what they could do here for NTT, the NBC team as well? Have one timing tower on one side of the screen for race 1 and another on the other for race 2. Because up in the timing in the commentary box, we're only getting the average speeds. So the last and best. So it's very hard to tell what exactly we need to be commentating on.
I'll agree, Josh. It's called it. Yeah. It'd be easier on us.
Next
a lot easier on us.
What do you make of Ryan Hunter-Reay back in the sport as well, replacing Colin Taylor?
I like it. I've always liked him as a driver, so it's good to see him back in Carpenter Racing. So hopefully next year he gets a full-time ride in the NTT IndyCar Series. Well-liked driver, so we shall see.
Bal asks, is qualifying based on the highest speed during the lap or the average speed of the lap? It's based on individual lap speeds, and the combined time doesn't really matter. It's between the first lap, which we're going to see Ryan Hunter-Reay. He's done a 176.775. That's put him third on the grid for race 1 at the moment. His second lap time speed then sets the result for race 2 starting grid. So 2 laps, 2 different grids across the both, but Ryan Hunter-Reay is looking quite quick on this second lap time. He's built some speed across the line.
Yeah.
Hunter-Reay's pole position at the moment. 174.888, so that's not a bad time at the moment. So it's put him 6th in race 2, but front row for race 1 tomorrow.
That's really good. We're really good lap for RHR. So this weekend is a very cool weekend. What Hy-Vee has done, bringing in some really popular country music entertainers, and I can say one of them is Carrie Underwood. And I can let all of you know I have seen Carrie Underwood in concert a few years ago, and she put on an outstanding performance. So if you like country music, Carrie Underwood is one of my favorite artists. So really cool to see her. Really cool to see her here this weekend, along with Zach Brown Band. Hy-Vee always does it a phenomenal job promoting this double hitter at Iowa. So maybe other tracks should look at what Hy-Vee's doing, because I enjoyed it last year, and I'm looking forward to it later on today for race 1.
Malukas coming through then. He's starting his first Delta lap. First lap time across the board. Just hearing the car singing around. Looks brilliant. First time for David Malukas. And it's a... waiting. Now he's gone green. That was a warm-up, so now we go green. Here we go then. What do you think, Adam? Top 3 for Malukas in the 18 across the line? Cross the line! Oh, it's pole!
There you go.
What's happened? Right, there we go. Hang on a minute. His first lap time speed's been void. It's a 178.610, but What's happened there? That's his race 2 time. Has Malukas been void from setting a time in race 1 or something? Because race 2 has put him at pole position. What's happened on that first lap? Has he touched something? Oh, he's hit the bump. And he's had a mistake or move.
I can't tell.
No, it looks
okay
like,
to me.
it looks okay to me, doesn't it? It's a very odd lap as how it sort of hit itself in. Right, next up is Malukas back in the line, so I don't know if he's going to go again. He can't go again. He's had his 2 runs, but maybe that first one wasn't greened by IndyCar, because Malukas is now and Ferrucci been avoided their first lap times. Here is Ferrucci now on the circuit. He should get the green flag.
Yeah.
Green flag has been given. We are go, go, go for Ferrucci. What do you make of him now? Is he sort of redeemed himself from his antics in Europe, or is he still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do believe he has, Josh. I think now him here at the NTT IndyCar Series, I think he has gained a lot more respect than what he did in Europe.
Across the line, first lap time is 174.565 miles an hour for Ferrucci. Second lap is looking a little bit quicker, but we won't tell that until he crosses the line. Remember, 26 cars to do a run. This is the 10th across the line for Ferrucci, and it's a 172.383. That puts him, where does it put him on the grid? 9th in race 2. So at the moment, we've got the 2 runs, and it looks better than what we saw before. Race 1. Pole position currently David Malukas. Race 2, David Malukas. That 878.610 has counted for both. So Malukas, Di Francesco, Cash Neves, Hunter-Reay, Harvey, Carpenter, Daly, Canapino, Ferrucci and Robb is race 1's top 10. Race 2, Malukas, Carpenter, Cash Neves, Daly, Di Francesco, Harvey, Canapino, Hunter-Reay, Robb and Ferrucci. That's the order at the moment for the second race. Next up, it's the 77 of Callum Ilott heading out. And I think they voided that first lap because he hit the bump. So I think IndyCar themselves have said, okay, you don't have to do that first lap.
Yeah, I do believe you're right, Josh. Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be, like BAL said in the comment, did a lot of heavy hitters to qualify. So, I think once we get into at least where everybody is in the top 10 points, I think one of those 10 drivers will be on pole for each of the 2 races.
I'm glad you said that, because SHT just asked us that very question on the Twitch chat as to who have you got down for these 2 races. I'm going to stick. I'm going to think Herta could take them, but I think Pato O'Ward will be on pole for race 1, and I think Herta will be on pole for race 2. So all depending on what your first and second lap speeds are. As Callum Ilott sounds a bit throaty through turn 1, doesn't he? It looks like there's a bit of flame coming out the rear of that car. So his first lap time was 175.548 miles an hour. Ilott is struggling again. That puts him 7th on the grid at the moment for race 1. Race 2 here at Iowa, 175.551. It's faster. And that puts him 8th in race 2's grid as well. So Ilott to 8th place on the grid in both races. And let's get down to the pit lane then.
Both laps, both races, Kev. That's David Malukas.
He was fast, and you got a big whoa from the booth, so tell me about that qualifying run.
I had a lot of woes. I mean, it's an impound race, so, there's always a strategy on how much you want to work the setup for a qualifying run to a race. And, of course, we had the car very low, and thankfully the rain honestly helped us with the temperature increase. So our car was bottoming out pretty aggressively, and that was kind of what involved the wiggles. But for what we had, I was actually pretty happy. I think that was a pretty smooth run, and I learned from the first lap. I tried to miss that bump on the second one, and it helped us go a little bit quicker.
Fast so far. He's going to at least start mid-pack.
How chilled out is that young man? Nothing seems to faze him. That's brilliant.
We talked about his podium at Gateway last year and dicing with the big boys. You got to remember, he was singing on the radio while he was doing that.
Gotta wonder, does he have a fresh contract in hand for next year that helps add to the chill and the confidence for Malukas? But for Rinus VeeKay, he's going to be looking at what his team owner and teammate Ed Carpenter and Ryan Hunter-Reay, what did they do earlier? how can he take that information and put it to good use?
Before, for lap 1, race 1, when you think of ovals and bravery, you can put this guy together big time.
This guy's been owner of some...
Oh, that was our first big wiggle down in turn 3. That almost got away from VK.
But kept his foot in it, and P4 again, so provisionally 4th for both. For a driver that, like I was saying, has a penchant for some pretty impressive and brave pass moves.
Niles Chevy rolls back to pit lane, and that's good consistency from the Dutch driver. Marinas VK. Next up, we heard from the pilot of the Blue Compass RV Honda.
So it's getting interesting now as well with the runners we've had. Ryan Hunter-Ray coming back out. Venus VK, 1:76.929 is his average time. So basically the timing tower's wrong. That's what I don't like about these dual sessions that we keep having. That's put VK 4th in both races. So it's a quite interesting little run around we're having right now. So due to a weather delay at Iowa Speedway, the Indy NXT race will now start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Is that after the main race of IndyCar?
Yes. Yes.
That's good then. Although the one thing I like about Iowa is that if we have to red flag for rain, we have a lighting system here, so we can be around all night. And we've downloaded all the sessions from this weekend anyway, so we're not too bad. Oh, I've just realised we're not recording the qualifying, so we hope it stays on YouTube and Twitch. I suppose there's no really point recording this one because it's all been a bit chaotic. Ray Hall's first lap time puts him 3rd on the grid, 177.173. It's a nice little gadget coming. Ray Hall surprised us all here a couple of years ago at Iowa. Hopefully he's going to have a similar attitude today as he comes across the line. And race 2 goes 3rd as well with a 177.959. So good runs here. Very good runs.
Yeah.
Not that the timing tower knows what's going on because it's still showing Venus VK out there on the circuit as its tracker. Oh well, it'll get better soon, I presume. It's just, and with no Josh T here today as well, so I've just thought of that. That's going to be a problem and a half.
That's right. Yeah. So where's Josh T when you need him? Right,
Yeah.
Josh?
Could have left. Oh, he might be back actually. I think he said for race 1. He'll be in the pit lane, so. But it'd be me, me, Adam, and Synthel calling the first race, and then Omi and Josh in the pit lane. Omi, you're in the pit lane now, though. What have you made of qualifying so far as Romain Grosjean starts his lap time?
Hello. Well, I haven't watched any of it. I just came back for a second. I'm waiting for the F1 highlights to come out and the F2 highlights. So, yeah, I'm currently sorting that out.
Do you need me to upload the sprint race? Have I already uploaded the F2 sprint race?
Well, okay, well, I'm not talking about those highlights. I'm talking about the F1.
Sorry to cut across you. Grosjean, pole position, race 1, 178.023 mile an hour. Now, can he take it for pole position in race 2? He's a little bit off in turn 3 and 4. Across the line, Grosjean, only 8th in race 2. Lost him a lot of speed, but P1 at the moment for Grosjean in race number 1. Back to you.
Yeah, so, okay, well, I was talking about the real, or not the real, but like, yeah, the F1, on the F1 channel, their highlights. My ones will come out later on in the night after I've recorded. F1 will get the priority, but it'll come out after I've recorded the F1 Sim Roblox simulation for tomorrow's race and the show. So all of today's highlights will be out later on today.
Sounds good. And we'll have those in a show. Grosjean comes back in. Next out, I believe, will be Felix Rosenquist as well. Here he is, out there on the circuit. Grosjean, though, Adam, pole position in race 1. From a mighty time, 22 hundredths of a mile an hour faster than Malukas.
That is a surprise to me because, Romain Grosjean, he doesn't have a lot of oval track experience, so that's a shocker lap for me from Romain Grosjean. A real shocker.
Across the line now comes Rosenquist. He'll start a lap time through turn 1. Nice and easy on the bumps. Iowa is incredibly bumpy on the racing line, which I was surprised about. They haven't resurfaced. Could that cause an accident this weekend? Because it's jumping lanes, effectively.
Yeah. And we take a look at first lap speed for Felix Rosenquist, and really solid lap, 175.76 miles per hour, and
that's P10 race 1.
Yeah, and Felix Rosenquist is a driver that I think you could count on to get a top 10 finish in Iowa for at least one of the 2 races. So Iowa is a very tricky track, so you're going to have to play your cards right in order to, you're going to get a good finish. And we go down to Roman Grosjean in the pit lane.
What's the difference between 1 and 2, and how difficult is that to maintain?
I had a big moment in turn 3 on the second lap, so I mean that's what I'm very proud of my first lap. Honestly, I mean we'll see what the other guys doing. There's some fast car coming, but I mean it's all going to be about tire decks. So qualifying, it's great to be fast, but I think we mainly have a good race car.
First time here last year, Grosjean was very comfortable, and he was pretty quick too.
Yeah, we talked about
yeah. So I thought we were going to have another interview there. Next up out on the circuit, I believe this is Kyle Kirkwood now out there. Yes, it is, the 27. Venturing out on the circuit, although not our time and time, because they're still saying Roman Grosjean. That's 5 minutes behind. So let me get that sorted now. As green flag goes up.
Have you noticed a lot of pink cars this weekend? Especially with a certain movie coming out about a doll.
Wait, what?
You know where I'm going.
I didn't hear.
So for those of you who don't know, there is a movie about the Barbie doll. It's called
the Barbie movie. Yes,
movie.
yes. Now I get it.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of pink cars this weekend. Especially with Marshall Racing now with Kyle Kirkwood. So I wonder if they're, I wonder if it's in honor of the Barbie movie.
I'd love to see both, really. Oppenheimer and Barbie's been in the war. Omi, what's your channel to watch the F1 game? Says SS Racing UK. It's going to be the, what do we call it? Did we just go to an advert and we missed it? Sorry, I think that's set on for Megan's on YouTube. Sorry if we've missed the advertising. I'll try and switch it off. It's because it was set to Megan. I'm trying to think about it. Yeah, that'll be on JB Motorsports 2. As Sato starts his lap times. Yeah, Omi, what are you going to be on later, JB Motorsports 2? He can't hear us. It's probably not there.
Check JB Motorsports 2 for Omi. So later on. Later on today.
Sato's gone third, by the way, in race 1. So Sato's improved there. Cross line for lap 2. Sato goes 5th, 177 dead on his delta time as well. So nicely done there from Takuma. Just quickly, by the way, we've turned off the adverts that go on automatically now. So apologies if there was an ad that I missed and it played in the qualifying session. We've turned off those auto ads for the live stream. It was set up because it was on Megan's stream key, and we've sort of hijacked it to take over the main computer. So that explains why. For those of you on Twitch, you didn't see anything. For those of you on YouTube, you did. Alexander Rossi, next out then on the run. We've done 17 of the 26 cars. It won't take us too long to finish this session. Away we go. We've only been on for 22 minutes, you know that? It doesn't take long to do this session.
Really? Wow. Oh. You haven't seen Will Power or Scott McLaughlin or Alex Pillow or Joseph Newgard now on track yet. So, and speaking of Scott McLaughlin, Josh, he, for people who don't know, his fellow Kiwi, Shane Van Gisbergen, is coming back to race in the NASCAR Cup Series at the IMS Road Course. And Scott McLaughlin has said that that SVG would be really good in NASCAR. So So Josh, would you like to see a Scott McLaughlin versus Shane Van Gisbergen in a NASCAR race
Continue.
or an IndyCar race?
Oh, I'd like to see them in an IndyCar race because I think they'll both be epic in both.
Thank you.
SVG's got the experience in NASCAR now, and I think in an IndyCar would be quite good. I do, however, want to see him attempt the Indy 500. Kyle Larson's doing it next year. SVG should have it a go. Rossi's first lap time was fast as well across the grid. Second time for race 2 puts him 10th for 176.664 for Rossi in race number 2. As the timing tower is trying to reorganize itself to what the actual order is. Finally, it's getting itself in the correct running. As it, look, it's glitching between. It doesn't know where to put it. But race 2, Maluka's on pole. I think now it's showing the correct order for race 1, which is... what is going on? The timing tower's going wrong. Here's Herta, though. So race 1... Who was just out on the circuit? That's what we need to see. Who just set the last time? Rossi.
Yeah.
So Rossi's outside the top
He's
10 in
Rossi.
race 1, and he's 10th in race 2. So Rossi had a very slow first run for qualifying. He's lost a lot of time there. There we go. So that timing tower that you're looking at is looking at the combined times, which do absolutely nothing for the running order of qualifying, because we take the last and the best lap time. Now we're going to have out there, that's why you're seeing David Malukas highlighted as the fastest time, because he is pole sitter right now. Now we're on board with Colton Herta as he takes the green flag down towards turns 1 and 2. And this is the point where Herta's sort of got to commit. He needs to have a better weekend than at Toronto, and he's good at ovals, and he's good here at Iowa.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. This is one track where Colton Herta can shine, and
he has!
And
Pole! Race 1 pole! 178.270, Adam. He's taken pole by 2 mile an hour tenths.
it's strong here at Iowa. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
And he's lost it, but he's gone 3rd for race 2. So that's a very decent lap from Colton Herta. It's provisional pole in race 1 here at the Iowa doubleheader. And he's pole race 1, 3rd race 2. Mighty good for Colton. He'll have some improvements coming. Next up, Will Power. Where's he going to go in this little charade we've been dancing with? Power will exit stage left. Go on.
It's the first of the Team Penske drivers too, Josh. So if Will Power is fast, both both races. Well, his teammates, Joseph Newgart and Scott McLaughlin, can they be strong? Because I think once Will Power does his qualifying lap, I think we'll know the other two are gonna do.
Power is running around on his warm-up lap then, getting us to the highest speed he can. He now takes the green flag, so this will be a very important run for Will Power as he takes it across the line downhill towards turn number 1. It swoops into the bowl. It's a short track race, as we all love. Is Power going to be able to improve? What's his opening gambit? 178.271 is the top. He's in the high 180s. 181.426 mile an hour. He is 4 mile an hour faster than Herta. What is this time from Power? Across the line for race 2. And of course, it's pole. 181.578. Will Power sweeping away the competition, Adam. That's insane. The track's improving second after second.
Don't be surprised if someone goes 100. I wouldn't be surprised if someone went 185 miles an hour for both qualifying sessions. The grip is there. I repeat, the grip is there.
Getting very entertaining now as we see the 45 of Christian Lundgaard, our newest winner in IndyCar for Rahal Lanigan Racing. He'll pick up the green flag to get going. And I think last time out at Toronto, he was the star. Pole position, led every lap, took the win. He was brilliant in a car that's been really slow this season, and crucially slow on ovals.
Yeah, it was nice to see. I can remember when Bobby Rahal won the inaugural. And I can remember when Bobby Rahal won the inaugural race on the streets of Toronto. So I wonder if he shaved off his mustache after he won it.
I think he did. I think I saw something like him and his brother did it as well. Lundgaard's done a 176.399 in race 1. That lines him up 14th on the grid. Race 2's time puts him 15th, 176.316 miles an hour. So Lundgaard, unfortunately, won't be anywhere near the front row. But on oval racing, starting at the back is probably the safer option. It's just a little bit back. Let's hear from Will Power.
For both races so far.
Just like last year, but there's still a lot of fast cars to go. Do you think that might be enough for pole number 69 and maybe number 70?
Who knows? Could have been a little better. It's in between gears a lot. Yeah, don't know. It was good. I mean, car was pretty good. Pretty good balance. Didn't really have like a massive imbalance anywhere. So as good as you can do at this point in the line. We'll see. Yeah, a couple of very quick guys to go. Yeah.
One of your teammates that might be able to get you is on track right now. So we'll see if we talk to Power again later.
That's called late.
Cheers very much. Scott McLaughlin is out there now. Scotty Mack is going to try and do a lot more than P1 in both races. This is the same team, similar cars, and this should be McLaughlin's chance to shine. And of course, Texas, he's good here.
Oh yeah. Second so far for race 1. So now we'll find out where Scotty Mack starts for race 2. So it looks like the boys from down under have got the power.
So first lap time.
Yep.
Has he backed off? He's backed off the lap time. McLaughlin second. Second in race 1, 183.34. Second race 2, 179.635. So we already had the green flag, and it got missed because NBC were doing the interview. So McLaughlin second in both races, still faster, crucially, than Herta in race 1 and Malukas in race 2.
And now we have another international superstar in Pato O'Ward in the Earl McLaren. So we'll see if the international flavor can continue toward the front of the grid for both races.
Timing Tower doesn't know what to think anymore with it, what's going on as well. It's going up and down, up and down and down. So much so that Will Power went out, 7 minutes ago or so? That's now...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still showing on the
That's right.
driver tracker. It's very broken. We'll try and get that sorted going forward. 23 cars now, as Pato O'Ward is the next one, out of the 27 that have entered. So we're nearly at the end of this qualifying. And then I don't know, do we go into a procedure where they can run again?
No, I do not think so. I think after this,
oh, sorry to question that. He's gone far. O'Ward's gone third fastest, 178.390 mile an hour on that first lap time. Now into race 2 lap times. So no, I think you're right. They can't run again, can they? So this will be finishing off.
No. Yep.
Across the line for lap 2, and it's 177.217. So he starts 8th best in race 2. So these two grids getting very much confusing. But it's such a run once again. It's going to be very difficult to pick these apart. But Power, pole position 69 and 70 at the moment, is on the cards. But what can Marcus Ericsson do? The winner of the 2022 Indianapolis 500, as he heads out there in the Chip Ganassi Racing and gets released. Come on, build up the revs. And go. Come on, track's clear. Track is super clear. You can go now. They're running down the clock, aren't they? The maximum of the time they're allowed to wait. and go.
I think it's the first chip, and it's the first Chip Ganassi car to come out on track too, Josh. So we've seen 2 Team Penske cars, and now we'll see the first of the Chip Ganassi car.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Chip Ganassi Racing can keep up with the Penskes. 1 and 2 so far in both races, but you
Okay.
mentioned Marcus Ericsson.
Finally, our timing tower is correct for race 1's qualifying. So what you're looking at there is the right one for race 1 quali. That's good news. We will update you on what is going on in race 2's qualifying, which is their second fastest lap times that get posted. But the green flag is out for Marcus Ericsson, and his first time is coming on the board now. Oh, he's got a bump through 1 as well, so Ericsson is still struggling. 170 miles an hour. It's like, 180. Here we go. It's like he's backed off a little bit as well. What's the opening gambit then? And he goes for race 1, 7th. 179.93 mile an hour. Now we're on to race 2's qualifying time, to which we need to shift over. Here we go. So there's a few more still left. Ericsson across the line. And his gambit puts him, for race 2, 8th. 177.681. That's a disappointment. Let's go down to the pits. McLaughlin.
What do we see from Joseph Newgarden coming up? You can kind of choose which of your teammates has the best chance for the pole for your input.
Oh, look, hopefully it's just one of us. Expel Chevy felt good. Will Power's just a genius. So, yeah, I don't know. I got to work on my qualifying on the short ovals, but I'm proud of that one. Man, it's hard. It's hard just nailing 2 laps at 18 seconds, So, had a blast.
Worst case scenario, he's still starting very close to the front. Let's see what Newgarden can do.
Newgarden takes it. First lap time then. Has he gone for the green flag? I can't quite tell. No, he's going to get the green flag shortly. This is a warm-up lap for him. So Newgarden will go, and we are green. So he's built up quite a lot of speed. The car looks okay over the bumps. It's more muscle control than anything else as he begins lap 1. Newgarden was good at Texas last year and this year, but it's a real struggle to see if he can master Iowa. He's had problems here in the past, including a start line accident a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, Josh, to let you and everybody know, Benjamin Peterson will not be taking part in either qualifying session, so he will start last in both races in Iowa.
Well, Newgarden's just gone 3rd on 180 mile an hour in the first part of qualifying, the second part across the line, and he will start race 2 at a best of 7th, 177.863. So Benjamin Pedersen, as Adam has said, is not taking any further part in this session. Will Power, though, still on pole, and it is a Penske 1-2-3 in race number 1. Your timing tower that's showing you there is race 1's graphics. And it now also puts Marcus Ericsson as car 25. So the last car is going to go out to attempt qualifying, and it's going to be Scott Dixon. Have we already had Palou then? I swear we're missing loads of drivers, don't you think?
Yeah, I can sort of look on the IndyCar up real quick, and
27 have entered. But Benjamin Pedersen's not doing anything, so not concerned, just slightly worried about that Delta screen. Unless there's been more that's cropped up from qualifying that we haven't seen. Anyway, Dixon starting a time. Hugs the inside line very nicely and jumping over the curbs. Takes it back through. This is getting ready. This is his first lap time. Where will Dixon start then in race number 1? And he'll start 4th. 178.710 mile an hour. That's his first lap time. Lap 2 coming up now. This is race 2's time. Dixon for race 2 takes the checkered flag and qualifies. Only 9th, Adam. Really poor quality there for race 2.
That's surprising. That is surprising. That is.
Couldn't keep the power.
That is surprising.
So we're thinking one more car, and it must be Palou. Let's hear from Newgarden.
Frustration that you expected for. Where were you lacking a little bit?
I just wasn't quick enough. Pretty simple. So
Yeah, excited to go racing, though. I think we got a fast Hitachi car, and Team Chevy's done a great job for us this weekend, so I'm excited to race.
Okay, thank you. Joseph Newgarden, 4-time winner here, has a little more work to do in these races this weekend.
Yeah,
Qualifying's one thing. The race.
4-time winner, but crashes an awful lot here as well. The 9 or 10 he's taken place in. He likes this track when he wins it, but he hates it more. It's a counterbalance of situations. Here across the line then comes Alex Palou in the number 10. He will be our last qualifier in this race. I can't see anybody else taking part. So what can the championship leader do then? We go out in championship order, remember? That's how we deal with this. This is our last run. And he takes the green flag. Can Palou master Iowa in qualifying? Or are the Penske's going to run away with it in race number 1? Power's watching on. Could this be pole position? Don't forget, 2 different poles on the line here. So across the line comes Palou. Where does he go in race 1? Only 7th. Will Power has pole position number 69 of his career, more than Mario Andretti. And will he take pole position for race 2 as well? Palou on the last corner. Across the line, the championship leader starts race 2, 12th. It's pole position number 70 for Will Power in 2023. The first ever driver in IndyCar to reach 70 pole positions. And it's a Penske 1, 2, 3 domination here at Iowa for race 1. That's brilliant, Adam. What a race we've got lined up.
That's right. And stick with us here. Stick with us here with JB Motorsports. Josh, Cinto, and yours truly will provide all the coverage for race number 1 in a little while. So
here's Power.
We're watching here in the United States. And Will Power with the interview.
My car had a good balance, and you know there wasn't much left in it, just a bit of shifting stuff. But yeah, great job for the Verizon 5G Chevy, and trying to win this race for a long time. I know Newgarden will be the guy that you've got to beat, put it all together, but we'll do our best today.
You've never taken poles for granted. In fact, more than a year ago, you were mostly content that I may not catch Mario.
Yeah.
So what's the significance of another pole adding to this record, and the fact that you haven't started better than 6th this year?
Yeah, it's obviously fantastic to get another couple of poles, and yeah, that number 70 is pretty nuts. Something I would never have imagined starting when I started in 06. So, but yeah, it's just lucky to be in with such a great team that gives you that equipment to do so. And now hopefully I can back it up with a win in one of these 2 races.
Congratulations. Will Power, number 69, number 70, and an NTT P1 pole award here at Iowa Speedway.
Well, he gets 2 of those, doesn't he, for race 1 and race 2? Okay, we're going to go off here quite quickly because we have got race 1 coming up later, and we need to get all set up for that as well. And we all need a break because we did F1 and IndyCar back-to-back. My thanks to Adam, my thanks to Omi as well. We'll be back for race 1 coming your way live here on YouTube tonight at 7:30 British Summer Time. Getting ready, I think the race starts at 8, so we'll just check the YouTube stream for that. Thanks to everyone who's waited 2 hours to see that quali. Grid Network is next, and I'm going to throw over there. So thanks, Adam. Thanks, Omi. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, everyone.